Welcome to the Brewery Adventure. I'm Courtney.
And I'm Dan.
We are here at Wandering Leaf today, shock upon shock. So cheers.
Cheers.
That was great. If you heard a couple extra clinks in there, we have some very special guests. We have both Robby and Matt, co-owners here at Wandering Leaf, who have decided to join us. I've been waiting for this moment for such a long time.
Happy to be here.
Wandering Leaf is a very special location for Dan and I. I think we've discussed this amongst ourselves. We've discussed this on the podcast before, but today is actually our podcast anniversary, the first episode that Dan and I recorded together. And, oh, nice. That's lovely. And it's all because of Robby.
Thank you. I'll take all the credit.
You should take all the credit. It was once upon a time on a wintry night. I came in to pick up some crowlers, and you were the first person I told that it was very early in the podcast. We were only a couple episodes in, and you were like the first person I told, I'm picking up crowlers because I'm doing a podcast episode on you guys. And you were immediately like, oh, podcast. There's another guy here who has a podcast. You should meet him.
Yeah, we got to know Dan pretty early on in our opening time, and he's obviously a great guy. You know that.
Yeah.
And I figured if you're new to the podcasting game, he can give you a lot of advice. So I thought I'd connect you two. So.
Yeah. And you didn't point her to me? A co-host of Root Beer Radio?
That's true. That's true. I forgot.
Root Beer Radio?
Yeah. It's a show about root beer. We haven't recorded an episode in 7 years.
Can I still find episodes online?
I'm sure you can find it on Spotify.
I know what I'm doing later tonight. I'm looking for... I had no idea. You didn't tell me this.
I did not. I hide that shameful past from him.
Wow.
I
think it's kind of cool.
I have a brother-in-law who doesn't drink, and he's obsessed with root beer. And so he wanted to do this, root beer radio show. And he's like, well, how about I bring you on and you just can talk about how beverages are made? And I'm like, okay. And I thought this was going to be like a 3-episode thing and like he's going to lose interest. No, this thing dragged on for 7 years.
Oh my God.
And every time Dave's like, hey, let's do another one. I'm like, really? There's more to talk about? And, sure as shit there was. So.
Do you have a lot of pro tips for where to find a good root beer then?
1919.
That's the one?
That's the peak. That's pretty much the end-all, be-all.
And what's the worst?
I think the folks at
Oh.
Sprecher might have something to say about that.
Oh, root beer fight.
We used to have Sprecher here. We used to sell that
Sprecher is
back in the day.
awesome.
Yeah, Sprecher's great.
And then Costco stopped carrying it.
You can get it at Menards.
Yeah,
We got Costco wholesale
Oh,
prices,
that's
though.
true.
Yeah, Bundaberg is the worst.
Okay.
Not Underberg.
Oh, I've had that.
Bundaberg.
Bun- Under?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't even tell you who
Frost
makes
Top.
it.
Where do you stand on Frost Top? Isn't that a local, is that a Minnesota one?
I believe it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Had a lot of that.
Dave will kill me if I don't get it right, though, so hello, Dave.
But what about Barks? The only root beer that I'm aware of that has caffeine in it, and
Yeah.
that's what I'm here for.
Barks has bite.
Barks
Yeah.
has bite.
And Barks is trash, according to Dave.
Wow, it's
One
still-
of my idiot
everything is-
sister-in-laws is obsessed with Diet Barks. She'll never listen to this because she has no culture. It's okay.
Oh my God.
There's no love lost between us.
Really let it out. Oh, my
Yeah.
God.
Well,
There's a lot of breweries that make their own root beer.
Yeah, and for a lot of that, it's like a very similar extract kit. You might throw your own little bit of flavor or whatever you want into it, but it's
Yeah.
like the same base extract or compounding flavor, and basically it's just diluted with water, and you can make it your own. And I'm not really knocking the practice. It's more of you're going to find a lot of the same stuff in a lot of different spots, because making your own root beer is really challenging to get a very unique flavor in it. It's either wintergreen based or like sarsaparilla or sassafras based.
I was just going to ask. Sioux City Sarsaparilla.
Yeah.
Now that's root beer adjacent, or would you consider that a root beer?
That's a root beer.
Okay.
Yeah, but we can make this a root beer podcast. If you want to.
Well,
Let's forget
I
about
had
beer.
no
and so
idea.
then there's like birch beer.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is that use? Does it use like roots of like birch?
It's using the fresh tips of the birch tree, like the new growth. Hey, there it is. I was waiting for it. It's using the new growth on the birch tree, and you're cutting that off and steeping that in hot water. And there's a lot of really incredible essential oils and other stuff in that.
Okay.
That provides a lot of intense flavor. And it's the same thing with like spruce beer. You're getting the new shoots off of the spruce tree to make those drinks. And so like spruce tip beer uses the same thing, where you're taking those fresh new tips off the spruce tree. So that's like a really springtime event.
Okay. So to impart that flavor, do you like steep the tips?
Yep.
Is it kind of like a
tea,
like you would when you make like a stout and you want to do like peppers? You'd put them in like a cheesecloth, put them in for just a little bit to get some of the flavors.
Yeah,
while it's in the fermentation tank.
It would be like for a brewer's perspective, I would put it in the whirlpool.
Okay, so like a dry hop with
like a hot side
fresh
edition.
tips.
Yeah, a hot side edition. So
take that, Guy Fieri. Not the only one who knows how to get to Flavor Town around here. I also do my own sound effects.
Love it.
Ignorant question. Who makes 1919 again?
Shells.
That's what I thought. They're the best.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know
Shout
that.
out Shells.
Yeah, Shells.
And Deer Brand.
Yeah.
Great beer.
Deer brand.
Shells famously for a long time didn't put it into cans, and then COVID hit, and then
Yeah.
suddenly you could find it in cans. I think you can still find it now in cans because
Yeah.
it does really well. It was 1919 on tap. That
Yeah.
was like the big thing.
It used to be a big commodity when you got the graduation party that had 1919 in the keg. That was a big deal.
I've been
Yeah,
to some of
yeah,
those,
yeah,
and
that
I'm
was a
just
big
like,
deal.
Yeah.
oh my God.
Yeah, 1919
You
root beer.
fancy.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, 1919 had a lot of really fun, like vanilla overnotes, and I think it was a wintergreen base, and who knows what else is in there.
Yeah.
When you say wintergreen, do you mean like a kind of like a spearmint? Kind
So
of thing?
wintergreen itself
Is that its own thing?
It's its own thing.
Okay.
It's a ground cover plant that you would find in like a lot of forested areas, and it was like a traditional medicine for a lot of different things. And so
You should have tried that for your laundry detergent thing. Did you ever think of that? No, you didn't. Well,
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Wow. I mean, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
This might be, I'm going to ask another ignorant question. Is the process for making root beer the same as beer, except there's no yeast?
Well,
Because
traditionally,
how do you get the carbonation?
traditionally it was a fermented beverage, and so it was like a 0.5 to 3% beverage, and it was more of like a root tea. Is what it started out as. And then over time, like as we got access to more refined sugars and cheaper sugar options, it became more of like a soft drink. And like, I mean, it was always technically a soft drink by that standard, but yeah, it was more of a, I don't know, how else would I say it? Like a medicinal beverage.
All I'm hearing is that we should make a dextrose-based root beer that's like 2.5%.
Yeah, that's what I was hearing too.
I can't wait to clean every gasket and piece of
Yeah,
plastic.
that sounds messy.
Because like those wintergreen oils or peppermint oils or whatever are like penetrant oils. So like mechanics use them occasionally to get into really stuck parts. And it's like they'll permeate plastics really well. And Dan, I know.
He's
You
dying.
had me at penetrant oils.
Yeah. Like there's a reason why you don't see mint as a flavor in a lot of beer or anything else. It's because it saturates the plastic components or rubber components, silicone, anything of that nature. It penetrates, and then it can also show up in beers down the line. So like if you run a mint-based beer through your canning line, a lot of like unless you have like some serious solvents, you're gonna taste mint. And the
that'd
beers
be
that
horrible.
follow. Yeah,
That'd be rough.
it'd
I just
yeah,
thought it was because mint wouldn't be a good flavor for beer.
No.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Mint's dumb.
Like-
It only should be in 3 places.
I mean, like
Mojitos, toothpaste, and gum.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, like there's a reason why you don't see certain flavors in beer, and like butterscotch or green apple flavored stuff, or
Oh, I
mint.
found
Like-
some butterscotch in a beer at the Ratskeller.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
oh, yeah.
Oh, it's supposed to be like that. No, it's not,
No.
asshole.
I prefer my hazy IPAs to taste like movie theater popcorn personally, so
Ah, interesting.
Yeah, but there's a reason why you don't like find beers that have these certain flavor profiles, because they present off flavors in beer that we all associate with bad beer quality, and then the other hand, there are certain flavors or oils that you could impart into a beer that are going to make every batch of beer you make after that much harder to clean and prepare for. So mint is a great example of that. Mint has a lot of peppermint. Mint in general has penetrating oils that.
Every time you say it, he's over there
Like, I'm gonna make a point to keep using that word the whole time.
That's right. Like the Cojones episode.
Yo.
He's just waiting for the "That's What She Said" button.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though it's going to be quiet.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Sound that only dogs can hear.
Right on.
That was a fun little side quest to kick things off.
That was a very unexpected, very informative side quest.
I'll talk your ear off about it.
I had
Great.
no idea. All I had to do was mention root beer, and
Yep.
boom.
And he's off to the races.
Sorry.
I think I could just live here listening to Dan make sound effects the entire time, and
It's
I'd
so
be happy.
easy.
A modern day Michael Winslow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, we are celebrating our podcast anniversary. You guys also, kind of recently had the Wandering Leaf anniversary.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just had our 3rd anniversary back in April.
And we're actually coming up on a different anniversary. That's
Ooh.
four years
yeah.
in this space on
Yeah.
September 1st.
Yep.
That's
So-
exciting too.
Yeah,
That's when
construction started.
Yeah, construction. Yeah, and that's actually the inception of the game too.
That's right, yeah.
Almost, not
Pretty
quite
close. Yeah.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
So we have a game that I don't know if you guys have talked about on the podcast because I haven't heard every episode yet, where we throw cans in the back.
It does get mentioned.
Oh, perfect.
We're trying to make it a thing.
It's
trying-
a thing. We're helping.
We're making it a thing. Rob and I were always up on a scissor lift with either a 30 rack of hams or like a bunch of different 6-packs or something, and wherever the contractors left our garbage can, well, that became the hole. And we go, what is that, a par 4? And then we throw. And then eventually started keeping score, got the contractors involved. Every time an industry friend came by, like, all right, well, we're playing the game now, so you got a shotgun of hams or whatever, and then you're going to put your name on the garage door. It's kind of crazy to think that it's been nearly 4 whole years now.
Yeah. Back in the day, we thought, oh, we have a lot of money. We'll replace that back door. So by the time we open, all those names that are on the back door will be gone. So it's fine. And let me tell you, you kind of run out of money during construction pretty quick. So,
How much do chairs cost? My
yeah,
God.
Yeah.
But you guys picked really nice chairs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
spent the money well because these are some of the comfiest taproom seats
Yeah. So
in the state.
So, like our architect, Aaron Whitcamper,
He's
shout
great.
out to him. He kind of like instilled this idea into Rob and I, where you can kind of just feel a space when you walk into it.
Yes.
If you can see that there's comfortable chairs, nice tables, whatever, you're basically inviting your guest to say, yes, I want you to stay here for a while. If you walk in and you see like those metal bar stools that look uncomfortable, you're like,
With no backs.
yeah, you're like, hey,
Easy to fall off of.
yeah, you're here
They
for a
put
one
your
and
butt
done.
to sleep.
Get in, get out, do your thing. He also introduced us to the concept of timing for seating. Like restaurants might rate their seating in time, where McDonald's will say this is a 15-minute seat, and like it's a hard plastic seat. It's not uncomfortable to sit on, but you're not going to sit on it for much longer than 15 minutes before you're like, hey, I'm not feeling great.
So a bit of a funny thing happens here. Matt and Robby continue on with this conversation. We talk about some other things. We get into actually asking them real questions. And maybe I look over at Dan and there's a sheepish look on his face and he's kind of fumbling around on the audio board. We maybe hit like a stop recording button while we were talking. So there's a bit of a gap here, and we are going to pick it up again with Robby talking about the beginnings of how Wandering Leaf came to be. Sorry.
I was working in IT, and I hated my job. Matt was feeling like I'm not going to use his terminology, but he can say it.
I was going to paint the ceiling with a shotgun.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Well.
So we decided that we were going to start putting a business plan together. And the whole point of that business plan was firmly to talk ourselves out of starting a brewery. We're like,
Oh.
we're well past the hype of the breweries. It's on the downswing. We all see it. Like, we knew it was happening, but we put the numbers together. We were super duper conservative. Like, anytime we were going to put the numbers together, we're like, we're going to add 20, 30, 40% to that just to make sure that if something were to happen, we were going to still be okay. And through that, though, we started, I knew Justin from Omni, so we got his first year books. He was so generous to like just show us those. And like,
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, he was great. And that was like the kickoff to us like really like starting to put numbers together. And then we talked to Kyle and Ben over at Ven. We talked to Josh over at Wooden Ship. And like, I'm not going to go through all of everybody, but like Insight and Arbiter, Wooden Ship.
This is beer community.
Yeah.
They were all so willing to.
Yeah.
And then Back Channel was a huge help
Yep.
too. They just kept giving us advice. And we talked to, I think, 30-something breweries before we opened about just advice to, like, how to make this work. Because it's, like, everyone has mistakes. Like, no one starts a perfect brewery off the get-go.
And there was one consistent thread throughout the entirety of it. Every single piece of advice, whether it was Forgotten Star, Back Channel, Ven, Wooden Ship, whoever, everybody had the same single piece of advice. Get a bigger cooler.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we have a 460 square foot cooler. It's 12 feet tall. I can fit over 2 by 4 by 4 kegs, which is, I can't do
A lot
math.
of pounds.
Anyway, I can fit probably over like 130 kegs into our cooler comfortably.
Yeah.
Just on pallets plus an additional 60 on the ground. It still doesn't feel big enough.
Yeah.
Because like you have to fit cans in there. You have to be able to walk around in it. You have to have your cold storage for hops and everything else in there. It doesn't feel big enough. And that becomes a problem when you're like, hey, we're busy and I need to like forecast out a month and a half or 2 months of what beer I'm going to be able to sell. Looking at the breweries that were like, hey, plan this out, and like, cool. I have a cooler that's 4 times as big as yours. How are you surviving?
Yeah.
Like looking back on it now, I'm like, what? How the hell are you making this work?
Yeah. Like Back Channel and a few others, like they have, at the time, they had cold storage outside of their primary space that they had to get. They, like, I will say, the brewing industry in general is amazing in Minnesota. Like, it is so collaborative. Everyone is so willing to give the shirt off their back. Like, you can post on, there's a Facebook group and there's a bunch of other ways to communicate to everybody. Like, hey, I need this certain hop, like, today.
Or I need a contractor for this or whatever.
And you'll get 10 to 20 responses almost within 24 hours. And
I love that.
And Eric at Insight, I think, gave us our best piece of advice, which was I was kind of just like laying out what our business plan was and like what size of equipment we were going to potentially open on. And like I had initially planned for a 5-barrel brew house, 10-barrel tanks, maybe a couple, like mostly 5s and then a couple 10s. And then Eric looked at me, he's like, you're either in this game or you're not.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? And he's like, you can go broke saving money. So if you're planning for success, plan for it. If you plan for failure, you will find it.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so like you kind of have to jump into the pool. You don't get to put a toe in.
Yeah.
You have to jump in. And so like for the places that have like opened up on smaller brew houses, they may have found success, but it's hard fought success.
Yeah.
And like I see that in everybody I talk to who has opened up on a smaller system. They're like, hey, we're making great beer. The community loves us, but like it feels like we're drowning.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, because you kind of are. Like, I love them, but like I want to see them succeed, and it's hard to do that when you're on a small kit. And, like, how do you grow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're making 7 kegs at a time on a 3.5-barrel system.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a hard to get.
Yeah. So when we came back to go back to the story, once we like were putting our business plan together, we kind of
But your business plan to not do a brewery.
correct.
Yeah.
The whole
That's right. What was your bar going to be called?
there was so many.
Yeah, Alarm.com Brewing Company was one of them.
We had 4, I want to say, official names that our lawyer is like, nope, you can't do that. It's going to be like, there's a bunch of copyright issues with it. Somebody's going to come after you for it. So the beer industry is also tied to the tea industry, beer, and something else. There's one other one that, like, all of them are considered brewing companies. So if your name is even remotely close to that, they can come after you for it. Like a great example is the name Moose. Big Sky Brewery will sue anybody. No offense, Big Sky, don't come after me.
Wow.
Because like they have Moose Drool, and they don't want anyone infringing on their IP. So like that is a very known.
So you can't
fact.
have like moose anything?
That is the
Well,
rumor
Moose
that I've
Lake
been told.
is a city.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like they might be able to get away with it because
Okay.
of that. But
Yeah.
like if I were to name a beer like just Moose IPA, there is
They don't like that.
Right.
Moosehorn IPA or
Right,
whatever.
Yeah.
And like, well, like Big Sky might go, hey, that's
Yeah.
super close to Moose Drool. And if you distribute that anywhere,
Yeah.
that's going to be a problem for us.
Right.
And like
Yeah.
that might be changing a little bit. Like it used to be a little bit more litigious a handful of years ago. I haven't really heard of any cease and desists in the last couple of years because unless you're really doing distribution with that brand, people don't care as much. But it used to be like even putting one-offs on your tap menu, like Mars Bar or whatever, like they would come and be like, you can't do that.
Like
Yeah.
Dilly Dilly at Modest.
No, not that one. Who knows?
What?
That's a hilarious story.
Yeah.
But like even we have our fruited blonde on tap right now called Bloom, and
Yeah.
we named it. We didn't really like do a whole lot of background checking to.
It was gonna be a one-off beer for us.
yeah, it
we
was
had
gonna be
no
a one-off-
interest in like making
one-off,
it a thing.
whatever. And I went to a liquor store before I went tubing with my buddy Alan. Shout out Alan.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, Alan.
Yeah.
My new Friday Wandering
Yeah.
Leaf pal.
Yeah, and so like I went tubing with him, and like I'm gonna grab a couple 4-packs for the river, and I'm like, oh, Bloom from Insight. They have a beer named Bloom. Ah, shit.
Yeah.
So like I should have checked before before we registered it, but
Yeah.
like whatever. And like we're not distributing it. Like we're not
Yeah.
stepping on Insight's toes, so it's gonna be fine. But like other breweries care a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And
and I'm
we-
sure if their beer's out there, they're going to care a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wandering Leaf Furious Brewing.
Yeah.
Furious beer coming up here soon.
Yeah, they're not going to like
Yeah,
that.
if we're gonna make a beer like a mainstay, longer term beer, we do quite a bit of due diligence to make sure that we're not gonna be stepping on toes, specifically in the Minnesota area, specifically the Twin Cities, and then like general Midwest.
It's a lot of beers to check on.
Well, like there's some resources for it, luckily.
The
But
beer database.
yeah, there's the beer database. I just hack into the mainframe.
Yeah. It's all good. It's your tech background
That's
coming
right.
in
Yeah,
handy.
that's right.
That's right.
So
Firewall my ass. I'm in.
we've all watched. What was the Hugh Jackman movie again? Swordfish. We've all seen
God.
Swordfish.
Huge jacked man.
Yeah. But okay, so we had our business plan. We were pretty like adamant, like okay, it's not gonna work.
Realized the name That's What She Shed was already taken.
Yep.
Yeah, Backshed was not gonna have that. Yeah. We started to realize that the numbers actually worked.
Even your high, like elevated.
Right, and like. Even our high elevated numbers, unfortunately, were about accurate and maybe not quite accurate in hindsight. But
Yep,
after like we opened up post-COVID era, so there was a bunch of construction costs that went way higher than we thought. Like used tanks didn't exist at the time because everything was
Oh.
bought up. So we bought everything new because it was the same price as used. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that got very expensive because we're in the COVID era of logistics.
And like another big part is that like a brewery's business model changes on location.
Yeah.
So like for us being in a high population retail center, like we can kind of anticipate much higher retail traffic and more people coming in through the front door. So for us to hit like let's just say $100,000 a month in net sale, great. That might be us breaking even, whereas another brewery that's doing $20,000 a month is like, hey, that's our breaking point. Well, our infrastructure costs might be wildly different based on where you are, what your rent costs, what your debt is, everything else. And so there are a lot of different factors that play into your whole vibe or like how you figure out what is financial success for you. So Rob and I still haven't paid ourselves in nearly 4 years.
Yep.
And that's not a sore point at all.
No, not at all.
But we're busy, cash flow's good, but like there's short-term debts, there's long-term debts that we need to consider, and like our wives are very patient, and we're trying to figure out how do we.
Jennifer and Amy are delightful human beings.
Yeah.
Yes.
Way
You know,
better than
they're-
us.
you
To be
guys.
very clear,
Both of you
way
outkicked
better
your
than us.
coverage beverage big time. I don't know how.
Yeah, we both locked that shit down real early.
That's right.
I choose you.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of different ways to measure success for a brewery, and for a business that requires this amount of overhead, expecting profit like in like what everybody assumes as profit in the first 3 to 5 years, it shouldn't really super be expected. Some breweries were able to achieve that year one when times were great.
Yeah.
At right now, if you're planning to open up a brewery, be prepared for a lot of hurt for the first 4 to 5 years.
And if you are planning to open a brewery, please come talk to Matt and I. We would love to talk to you about it.
Yeah.
I was doing some math yesterday.
Why?
Because I don't know.
Math, my favorite.
Trying to wake my brain up. But I figured, so like if you sell 400 pints a day at $8 a pint,
Yeah.
there's 30 days and it's $120,000.
Yeah.
So that's like cash flow in.
Yeah.
But then like I was trying to think about okay, so
Minus
there's
11% for taxes.
Yep. There's taxes,
Yeah.
there's rent, there's payroll, there's upkeep costs, there's machinery costs, there's different, you need some place to sit, something to look at, if you want so it's I think that even because the reason I landed on that number is because I remember when Steve Finney was opening up Little Thistle, he had kind of done the same thing that you all had. He talked to Dangerous Man, he talked to Fair State. Now this was back, they're celebrating 8 years this August, end of August. So this is probably 9 or 10 years ago. He's talking to these folks, and he's if we sell 300 beers a day, we will be fine. And I was thinking about that number because when it was here on Tuesday for trivia, it was packed.
Yeah.
And I'm so that's just that one snapshot, that hour and a half session. But you open at 2 on Tuesday, so do you have that 300 pints a day? What would you say that is now for just a ballpark of, hey, if you can do this, then you're in the game. If you can't pull this off, if you can't pull this number of pints, you need to rethink, or you need to aim bigger.
Yeah, so for us, it's about $3,000 a day. So that's rounded up to 3,200, which is an easily divisible number.
Yep.
So that's 400 a day, and that's average
400 an hour.
400 per day.
Oh,
beers. 400 beers per day every day of the week. So that includes your Mondays, your Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays. Hopefully you're making some money. Saturdays, whatever. And that cackle is my wife.
Yeah.
So
Just gave our regular Jeff a heart attack.
I threw out that number earlier, about $100,000 net sale a month, and that's kind of our break-even point. We're in a retail spot. Rent is high. Our debt is expensive. Payroll is what it is. It's
Interest is high.
Yeah, all those things. And so we need to sell a certain number of beers. And the thing that every home brewer or somebody who's putting together that business plan of breweries must make money. What they come down to is they're selling pints for $8 a glass, but it costs them 50 cents to make that pint, or $1 to make that pint. Well, true, but there's all the overhead. And you make that 90 cents on the dollar once you pass your $100,000 mark for us. And so
then it's still not quite 90 cents per dollar.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. But just broadly speaking,
yeah.
that's kind of what it is. And so we have to cover all of those costs every single month. And then every dollar we make on top of that $100,000 might be hey, that's where we're making money.
And that includes January that, makes no money. And then you got to balance that out with June, July, August that hopefully will offset that January month.
Yeah. So I'm pretty open with our money, with the money. And I think anybody in craft beer should be, maybe a little bit more open with each other, because we're all going through the hardest time ever.
Yeah.
We're seeing more closures than openings. A lot of our friends are suffering pretty intensely. If we're being dishonest with each other about what the financial struggle looks like, well, then we can't help each other either.
Yeah.
So
and not beer related, but the whole THC stuff, that's uncertainty that's going on right now, is really not helping a lot of our friends in the industry. We are out of the THC game, so we're really focused on beer. But there are so many of our friends that are making these great beverages that help.
Yeah.
And they're great. They are helping them stay afloat, but also like it's a whole market of people that they don't drink alcohol. They want something else. They want to hang out with their friends, but they don't want to drink alcohol. So like they don't feel quote unquote welcome in a brewery as much because like they're not really NA beer drinkers. They don't really want to have a Coke at 9 p.m. So having a THC beverage allows them to be here. Like we would love to be in the THC game, but it's just so expensive. It's so cost prohibitive to be in it.
Yeah, like to a point, like making the beverage is cheap, relatively.
Yeah.
There are intense insurance costs if you want to like even insure your product. The Office of Cannabis Management is now requiring it, but like there's not really an enforcement agency either. So like you can go like, well, sure, OCM is telling me I need to have this insurance, but there's no like ATF or like whatever judicial brands like Marshall. Yeah, it's going to come around and say, "Hey, you need to have this right now."
Will that position be called the Czar of Jazz Cabbage?
That'd be a great name.
If it's not, I'm going to be really upset. So for us at the time, the insurance costs were like almost 40% of our revenue for on-premise consumption. So if I sold you a $10, a $10 drink,
this is just to sell it. This isn't even to brew it.
Right.
Correct. Yeah. If I had a THC drink and I was like, hey, this is $10. Here's your beverage for tonight. I like by our sales rate, it was 40% of that. So $4 went straight to insurance. That's not counting the can cost that it took us to package it, the label, the lid, the can body, the time on the equipment, the THC beverage, like the THC emulsion, the water, the utility, everything that went into that. So at some point you're like, are we actually making money selling this? And at the time it was a firm no.
Yeah.
So we got out of it. Yeah. And like other breweries were like selling oodles more than we were. And so like, of course they were making money.
We were a little late on the game. So in the wholesale game, it was hard for us to break in, and it didn't offset any of our costs. Like we were in our like best 5 liquor stores, and they were kind of doing it as like a here you go. That's our
like a little charity gift.
Yeah.
Oh, here you go, you little poor boy. Yeah, like the THC game is like an interesting one, and like a lot of breweries are using that right now to, as Rob put it, to supplement their books. And with the new legislation that's coming through in the fall, it's really scary because we don't know what the feds are actually going to do.
Yeah, but like some of like the best beer in the state, which I'm not going to say names, but they're like supplemented by their THC brand. They are allowed to make these really awesome beers because the THC pays the bills a bit. It's unfortunate that like that's the world that we live in right now, but like the adult beverage market is rapidly changing, and the beer market has been stable for, I don't know, thousands of years at this point. We like beer, we like alcohol, that's great. But there's the masses that kind of move around to ready-to-drink cocktails, THCs, seltzers, whatever is around is the hype thing right now. Those people will shift back and forth, and the beer people stay at beer.
Steady.
And that's the thing that like we found success is that we'll make weird, unique beers, and like we love them, and we're going to continue to do so. But we also make like the normal style beers, and we like to make them like amber ales, brown ales, stuff like that. The beer drinkers come and drink those, and that's been a pretty core, steady like base for us. And that's like I've always like seen like the hype trends for beer where it was like hazy IPAs for a long time. Those drinkers stuck. Then we had like the lactose sours. Those people stuck. And then they just kind of moved. I think some of those people just moved on to seltzers. They moved on to ready-to-drink cocktails. They went on to THC. And they just kind of keep moving with whatever the trend is. But the beer drinkers they knew what they liked. They stuck with the beer that they like. So you try to find them where they are. And you keep making the beers that are for beer drinkers, not necessarily the hype chasers. That's our general philosophy, at least my general philosophy.
It's the same. Because like as a brewer, you're not making beer for you.
Yeah.
Right? If you want to make beer for yourself and like you're like, oh, I only want to drink lager, so I'm only going to make lager. Well, be a home brewer.
Yeah.
Like make it for yourself, because like if you're going to be a brewer and want to open up a business to do it, you're making it for your community. And if your community is telling you, hey, I want smoothie seltzers, dog, I don't know what to tell you. You're going to make smoothie seltzers if you want to stay alive.
Yeah.
Like that might be a hard way to make a living in terms of your soul, but
1,000 calories at a time.
1,000 calories at a time. But like
Wilford Brimley is rolling over in his grave.
Yeah,
Thank
for
you,
sure.
Drecker.
Yeah, for sure. But that's kind of the point. Is that like if you're gonna open up a brewery, you have to make what your customers want.
Yeah.
And I remember when we were going around talking to different people, asking for advice. Like there were a couple tap rooms we went into. There were 2 different tap rooms I'm not going to name, but there were 17 different hazy IPAs on tap
That's a lot of hazy.
simultaneously. And it's like, okay, cool. Well, there's 17 hazies. There's 1 Pils, 1 sour. There's nothing else for anybody else.
It's like that time I got blindfolded at a key party.
Oh,
I can't see it. It smells like oranges. What's happening here?
Hey, yo.
Even if you're the hazy drinker,
Yeah.
that's too many options. Like,
Yeah.
what are
Yeah.
you going to do?
Yeah, you get blinded by choice.
Yeah.
And so, if, like for us, like we're like, hey, there's a max of like 4 hoppy options on tap. There's a couple lagers, there's a couple dark beers, there's a couple sours, fruited options, whatever. But like, we want to maintain a varied tap list because like not everybody who walks through your front door is a haze head.
Yes.
And kudos to those people. Like I'm
Yeah.
happy to make. I'm trying to make the best hazy I can for them.
You can make a really good one.
Yeah, but like I also want to make an excellent lager for the people who are like just like coming in from Heather's
Yeah,
regular
yeah,
Heather. She's a nurse at the admin staff maybe. I
don't know.
I can't remember anymore. She's here all the time.
She's
Sorry,
great,
Heather.
Shout out
but,
Heather. She's
but
great.
she's she works at the VA hospital. She stops here nearly every single day on her way home after her shift, and she is drinking a lager here.
Yeah.
And she just likes beer. She wants it to have flavor. She doesn't really like Bud Light or anything.
She sounds like a much better version of the Supreme Court Justice Kavanaugh. He also likes beer,
Yeah.
but he's a prick.
and she doesn't boof it.
Yeah. Where are the calendars?
Speaking of it, so I want to give another jarring statistic while we're talking about this. At this table, we have 75% empty glassware.
Oh,
so we
no.
should take a break.
We need
so
to
we
take
can
a
get
break
refill.
and fix that.
Wow, we
We-
made it through one question.
And we,
Yeah.
right,
Not
yeah.
even one question.
And when we come back, we'll delve into more of the talking points.
You think I have talking points. You're
Right.
looking at me like I have talking
Yeah.
points.
I haven't
Well,
finished our
talking points.
story yet.
I've only
look
peed
in
my
the
pants twice.
That's right. Oh, then we got 8 more to go because we want to make it a 10 star rating so we can get that sponsored by NASA diapers. When you need to drive cross country but don't want to make a pit stop, NASA diapers.
I don't know what's happening.
Shut up, NASA.
That's right.
Love it.
All right.
All
Your
right.
break.
Beer.
Of liqueurs.
These pants won't shit themselves.
Who's the? I think that's Bullshorn that has that up on behind their bar.
Hell yeah.
That sign. My God, my Lord is just disgusting.
Love it.
I will go on the record
Oh
and say
God, here we go.
It's not that bad.
I agree. I think it is firmly in the not good category. But there are worse liqueurs. And I will shout them out right now.
Liqueurs.
Rumplemans, go to hell. Jägermeister, go to hell.
Yes.
Yes.
Interesting.
Again, I'm going to go back
You place Malort ahead of Jaeger?
Yes.
Yes.
Dog. Like,
That's insane.
I like bitter, and I think that Malort,
Do you like tossing the salad of a rusty car battery? Because that's what it's like.
I'm gonna add mezcal.
we're gonna fight.
I will
It's
fight
rubber
you on that.
tires.
I
it's
like
burned
I like
rubber
mezcal.
tires.
I do like mezcal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You
so-
just like rubber tires, apparently.
So like for Malort, for me, it's like licking an ashtray. Like the main note I get is
His ashtray.
Ashtray, yeah.
ashtray.
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 Hey, next beer name.
Hot dog water. I'll have another.
Are we on?
We are on. Yeah, we've been recording
Oh,
Hell yeah.
since the Malort.
Ashtray.
Should
Ashtray
put a fine point
talk.
on it. Mint doesn't belong anywhere except for mojitos, gum, and toothpaste. That's it.
I would add
I will
to that
say that
then.
like Thai food and other like Asian dishes, like mint leaves are great. I will say that. But
Do you like when you are you a lamb fan? Do you like lamb?
not really. I
Oh, okay.
want to. Like Nordic dogs that have the lamb dogs every now and then, and those are delicious.
Is it
Shout out
Dr.
to Marcus.
McGillicuddy's?
Yes.
Dr. McGillicuddy's in the freezer when you get sick in the
Oh.
winter and you just need a little shot before you go to bed. That's okay.
Yeah.
I also like to put mint in hot cocoa.
Yes.
Because then it turns it into a liquid Andes mint.
Yeah.
I don't like Andes mints. I think mint
Yeah.
chocolate's bad.
Yeah.
Actually, to be fair, I'm not a big chocolate person, so like that's
Yeah.
not fair.
I clearly chose a wrong business partner.
What is happening?
I have hard opinions about things that really shouldn't have hard opinions.
Yeah, like I joke a lot about like, hey, Rob's gonna die on this hill, so don't be offended by that.
It's just the autism. Sorry. I'm sorry. It's
Oh, I mean, everybody's got a hill that they'll die on. What's your hill?
What the hill I'll die on?
Yeah, what's your non-negotiable? Where like somebody does is like, nope, nope, nope.
Oh man.
using the DMR in Warzone.
Like, hey, hey. My God. Like for me, like this is not really a hill to die on. It's more of like a look into my own psychosis. If I'm in Costco,
Okay.
if you ever hear about like people randomly disappearing and the Costco killer's afoot, that
It's
is
you?
gonna be me. And Rob is just gonna lose it right now. I lose my shit at people who it seems to be their first day on Earth. Everywhere
God,
they
yes,
go.
yes.
And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna follow you to your parking lot and let the air out of your tires. Because like, what the hell, man?
They're
Like-
just meandering around and like looking and then
Yeah.
looking over here. They're in the way.
Yeah. How have you not interacted with other people on this earth? Like, I really feel like people should have to work in the food service or service industry sort of job for at least a year. Like,
Yeah.
kind of like a tour in Vietnam or whatever. Hey, like, it's like, you have to do this to be a functioning member of society. And, like,
And thank you for all who served.
Yeah.
and it's like, if you don't
Or
do
went
it,
to Costco this afternoon since we just put them on the same same par.
Yeah.
But like I guess my point is like when you have ridiculous requests of service staff.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
know what it means to be like on the other end of that when someone's like, hey, my ranch is too hot, or like that's actually a bad.
I don't know. My mom might say that.
Oh Jesus Christ.
Cold beers and hot ranch.
Like or
Come
like
to Wandering
hey,
Leaf.
like just understand like it's out of your server's control at certain times. Like they're just going out to eat is like requires like an whole ecosystem of people like line
Yeah.
cooks,
Yeah.
servers, bartenders, everybody all working in unison. And like just the fact that your meal is slightly different than what you expected doesn't mean that you need to torch the place to the ground.
No.
Yeah.
Like have a little grace everywhere you go.
I will also say, like, we've talked about this at length. When you go to a restaurant, there are like 10 minimum people working at any given time,
Yeah.
which is crazy. Like they have just crossing paths all the time, doing different tasks, doing different things. Like at a brewery, like we might have 3, maybe 4 people
Right.
on the bar and doing tasks around the tap room.
Yeah.
Like we might have some people in the back doing like brewing and packaging.
Shotgunning hams and
Shotgunning
tossing them into a
hams.
garbage can.
Like, the hard stuff. Yeah.
No.
But like,
The things that keep the lights on.
but there's like restaurants nearby that we would go to, and I'm like, it's a Monday night, and you have 7, 8 people going right now. Like you have 4 servers, you have 4 people in like the kitchen. Like,
Yeah.
how do you even employ these people?
Yeah, you're burning $100 an hour in labor.
Yeah.
Like how do you generate the revenue necessary to like fund the business?
So whoever runs, like the general managers of restaurants, like kudos to you, because like that sounds very difficult. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Totally different structure.
Yeah.
though.
Courtney, what's the hill that
Yeah.
you're gonna die on? What's your like pet peeve, non-negotiable?
I have a lot. Pick a topic.
Driving etiquette.
Oh my god.
Give me a driving etiquette hill you're gonna die on.
Yeah. Is
Get
it
the fuck out of the left lane.
Yes. Yes.
Is it your first day on Earth?
Learn how to merge. It does not involve slamming on your brakes or like trying to merge when you're driving 30 miles an hour onto the interstate.
Are you a zipper merger? Is that what you're supposed to
It doesn't
do?
have to be a zipper merge, but you need to like get up to speed and find an opening and
Yeah.
go in. And likewise, the people that are in traffic, you need to adjust a little bit when you see
Yeah.
someone is about to enter.
To defend the zipper mergers and to defend the people that don't zipper merge, I'm going to take a middle stance, which is crazy for me. But I do think that there should be a social etiquette standard. If everyone is deciding not to zipper merge, then you don't zipper merge.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
everyone decides to zipper merge.
Well, if you're
'Cause
moving
they-
at 60 miles an hour, how do you make that decision fast enough?
Oh, then just zipper merge. That's fine. Because but I'm talking about like you're backed up on 62, and there's clearly like a 200
Oh.
feet of space that you could go forward and
Yep.
then cut in.
Yeah.
Or just cut in 200 feet early. Just do the 200 feet early. As someone that drives on 494 and 62 too much, just leave space for people.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's all I'm saying. I have gone 180 on this. I firmly was I'm going to tail the person in front of me when I was 19 years old because I'm never letting anybody in. And now I feel like I've become zen and I'm just I'm going to just give 50 feet of space. And if 12 people want to come in front of me, it's going to cost me about 30 seconds of time in my total commute. I just don't want to be slamming on my brake anymore. I'm just I'll just coast at 12 miles per hour instead of 15 miles per hour.
I'm just going to crank up My Chemical Romance.
That's right.
And just listen
Polish
to
the shotgun in the car while listening to MCR.
I have more patience for drivers than I have for patience for people in Costco.
That's right.
Because how are you looking at frozen yogurt for longer than this?
Yes.
And you're taking up a whole aisle? My God, I'm going to follow you home.
There's a social etiquette to walking, and it is hug the right.
Yeah. Yes.
And in Costco, people and their kids will stand in the middle of the lane.
Yes.
And I'm stuck.
They have no concept for other people
crazy.
around them.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I hate it.
And I follow them home and let their air of the tires. It's hey, you thought you're going to work? No, you're not. You're going to the auto shop.
I really hope that this podcast becomes a core part of the prosecution for Matt.
No.
And then those poor jurors are going to listen to this podcast 17 times just to hear all of Matt's laughs. It's okay, what did he mean by that laugh?
But by that point, they're going to be you know what? This guy's pretty
That's
cool.
right.
He's fine. Just,
Yeah, no, that's a valid reaction. I would let the air out of the tires of that person too.
That's
and
the
that's
joy
the
of it.
psychological warfare that Dan's a part of.
Yeah.
One time, and this was not that long ago, I would go
6 days ago
during my prep and move the desks in this teacher's room up half an inch every day. And
my
got out of there
God.
before this person even got to school. And at one point, this was weeks into it, they're like, why is there so much space at the back of the room? I'm like,
That's
My work
diabolical,
is
and I
done.
love it.
I will.
This is
I
a
will.
real Captain Holt situation.
I will.
You did it.
I will.
How'd you pull this off?
When I was younger, in order to scare my sister, I would wait in her closet for a half hour. If I knew she was eventually going to be coming up to her room and then getting settled, I'd jump out and scare the crap out of her. Yeah, I'm
Man,
the long game.
the
I
long
wish
game.
that-
It's all about
I
the
wish
long
I
game
could
for me.
have done that.
I
don't have that kind of
Normally, I got
patience.
tied or taped to a pole and left in the basement for a while. So
No, I'm a pretty good prankster.
Were you an older or middle sibling?
Oldest.
Oldest?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, I was definitely the youngest.
So as
Shout
a
out
middle
David,
kid,
he's younger,
in order to
but
get
not
noticed,
really.
I would do shit like that. My favorite, this is a huge side tangent.
Has this
But-
whole podcast been side
Oh,
tangent?
There's
For
been
sure,
a lot of side
For
quests
sure,
here.
yeah.
It's good. This
But
is what the people want. They want this. They don't.
But when MP3 players first came out, my brother got a Rio Geo, and it could hold 40.
Is that some sort of bikini wax
Sure, that's
package
all it
at the
was.
Tangerine Dreams? Let's.
It could hold 40 songs, right?
Oh.
And so my brother got it, and I'm mowing the lawn at my parents' house, and I'm using it. My brother let me borrow it, and I'm mowing the front. And my
What
younger-
year is this?
This is oh my God, it had to be
2001?
2001, 2002. So it's loaded with songs from LimeWire, so half of them are just corrupted and just terrible.
Mr. Brightside, number one on the,
Yeah.
the MP3 player.
And so I'm listening to it, and my younger brother comes out. He's like, "Hey, Ryan wants his MP3 player back." I'm like, "Well, it's his," so I gave it back. And I do the first pass to the back of the house, and I see my younger brother on the porch listening to it, and I just let go of the lawnmower and immediately started swinging. The biggest fight I ever got into, and I just kicked the dog shit out of my younger brother.
And then what happened 2 years later?
He got bigger than me, and he would do what he would call the paperweight, where he'd throw me onto the couch and just sit on me. And I have not won a fight with my younger brother since 2003.
Yeah. I'm the same age as Matt's younger brother. We went to high school together.
Okay.
Matt's 2 years older than me, so I'm aware of the family dynamics.
Now,
pretty close.
this is
Yeah.
something we didn't mention early on, but you two didn't just meet when you were at the U,
No.
you guys
Yeah.
have known each other for decades.
Yeah, so Matt and then my cousin Andy, shout out Andy, he's great. We're friends in middle school, I think, and then high school.
Andy was probably was my best friend from like, I would have to say like 1998 to 2009.
What happened in 2009?
I mean, like,
Oh,
we
just stress in the world. You know,
yeah. Yeah, like we don't talk
slept
about
with my
it.
girlfriend.
Matt became
No,
the
like, we went to different
Flesh
colleges.
paperweight.
Yeah, and like I went to the U, he went to St. Cloud State. Like we
Yeah.
just grew apart that way. We were really close for the longest time, and so like I knew Robby's family
Yeah.
for forever.
So every now and then, though, like they lived near each other, and I would sleep over at my cousin's house, and then Matt would be around, and we would hang out. But that's like when we were kids, like kids. And then I was 2 years younger, so like I knew Matt kind of in high school. I was, like he was always an upperclassman. I was a lower classman, younger classman. What do you call that?
Who cares?
Lower
classman.
Yeah. And then like once we got to college, Greg, his brother, and I both transferred into the U of M as sophomores, and so we decided to live together.
Oh, okay.
And we were always good friends in high school, and so we hung out. So we decided to get an apartment together, and then the following year we all lived in a house together, and I got to know Matt really well, and then we just became really good friends because of that. And that was just the catalyst of I hope a lifetime friendship. So
No, I'm gonna kill you.
that's fair. Honestly,
And, like if I knew at Costco,
Don't ever go to
He
Costco when
seems
you
kind
go
of
to Costco.
dangerous.
honestly, if probably deserved.
No, yeah, like Rob and I have known each other forever, and it's more than just like a friend relationship. Like we've known it long enough that like it's almost like a brother situation.
Yeah.
We can get mad super hard at each other
Yeah.
and like very frustrated, but at the same time, like it's like, well, we're still in the same shit.
Yeah.
And we're doing the same thing, and like that's kind of like been like a different bridge in like a business partnership too, where like the advice is don't go into business with your friends. I would still advocate for that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you know the other person and you know their weaknesses, you know their strengths, you can lean on them when you can. You
Yeah.
can lean on like you can pull away when you need to, and you can fight when it's necessary. But at the end of the day, you're gonna come together and figure out what is necessary for the both of us.
Yeah.
Because like we've gone through a lot of hard
Oh, yeah.
times, and it's been a real challenge for sure. But at the same time, like we both looked at each other and like, I need to know that you're still in this.
Yeah.
And if you're not in this, you need to tell me right now.
Yeah.
But we're still here for each other.
Yeah.
And whatever the business needs is what the business needs.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, if the business isn't satisfied in you,
Yeah.
then like you need to have a real conversation, like how we look forward from that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I to add to that a little bit. I think anybody that starts a business at some point in their life, they would do it. It's it's a lot of stress. So you're gonna go through it. Like it's not. God love the people that like start a business and they just make billions of dollars and they never go through any stress in their life. Like I don't know if that happens ever, but
I don't think it can.
I don't
if
know,
it looks
like,
like it
good
does,
luck-
I think they're
yeah.
faking it.
Trump University. Did that make money? No, did not.
it might have. We don't know.
We don't know. They burned the
He
books.
hasn't released his
The
whatever.
Epstein files.
That was his tax returns, but also the Epstein files. But yeah, so like, it's a very stressful endeavor. Like you're out, like you're putting your family's money on the line, and so that's a whole like you're adding so much extra like stress on top of a relationship. We talked about this very early on. Like it's likely harder for us to get out of our business than it is to get divorced
To
from our
murder
wives.
your
God.
partner. Oh,
Like,
yeah.
No, for sure it
like
is.
it's
Yeah.
it's a big endeavor to do this, and you're putting a lot of money and a lot of effort, and like when you involve the government, because we have a small business loan, like it's in like pretty close to impossible to get out unless you have like a angel investor that's willing to like do a lot of
Yeah.
assume risk,
Yeah.
like for a business that they didn't start,
yeah.
and like I'm.
I don't even want to trust somebody else to make me a sandwich. I don't
Right.
know how
No,
you
I
would
can't do
just
that.
like,
Yeah, like the ratio of pickle to mayo, my
Okay.
God.
Yeah, no pickle,
Oh, see?
all mayo,
Hey,
all small,
Ew.
all banana pepper, no pickle. That's
Interesting.
All
I like-
pickle, no
I like
mayo.
heat. No.
Banana
whatever.
peppers aren't spicy though.
Let me tell you.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
you can take the man out of St. Cloud, but you can't take St. Cloud out of the man. Hey, these banana peppers are really burning me.
Okay, Matt can attest to this. I have
for sure.
I can handle synthetic capsaicin like nobody's business.
Yeah, like the bomb hot sauce,
Yeah.
you're okay with.
Yeah, the last dab can do it. The moment you give me like a spicy banana pepper, I'm like just gasping for
What?
air. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy. Jalapeno.
Are you
habanero?
talking like pepperoncinis?
No, pepperoncinis are fine. I'm talking like, so there's like a shout out to Adam, Amy's business or like coworker. He grows these spicy banana peppers. I put them on my
Okay.
sandwich last night and I was dying.
Yeah.
Dying.
So like
Amy
like,
was killing me. She's roasting me because I was like gasping. She's like, "You must be like pulling my leg." I'm like, "Nope, I'm dying."
So-
Like,
Did she eat it too? Did she like?
yeah, she just
Yeah.
like she's
Amy's not human.
yeah, that's 100% true. She just handles heat like nobody's business, and it's not fair. I train, I put effort into it.
Yeah,
No,
interesting.
but like to like kind of like sum that up, Rob has been able to handle hot sauces that I find like almost comprehensively bad. And then like for like a video for like Hot Girl Summer, which is one of our beers, we ate a piece of habanero pepper. It was not a big deal for me, but for Rob, he was like gasping for air.
Yeah, it's
and
terrible.
like for a habanero hot sauce, Rob might
Yeah.
be able to handle that. Like, oh, this is nothing, and I'd be like, dude, I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like, I can eat a raw pepper and feel okay, and Rob will handle it like the inverse from what I
Yeah.
can do, and I don't understand that.
I don't
The
understand.
flaming
that
hot Cheetos effect, I think. I love my.
Yeah, it's not like a Minnesota spicy sort of
No.
situation. It's more of a you don't tolerate, like, you handle synthetic chemicals
That's
in a
right.
different way than other humans
I have
do.
the diet of an 8th grader. We all know it. I love wax donuts. They're the best. Shout out Entenmann's. Is that what they're called?
Oh my
Yes,
God.
Entenmann's. Oh,
Wow.
that's a good shout out to the.
Hey,
Maybe I can sponsor?
Entenmann's donut collab. Let's
be
do
great.
it.
Also, you know, they play. There was an Entenmann's Seinfeld episode too.
But was there?
Yeah.
I didn't watch Seinfeld.
Can you do a wax donut flavored beer?
Oh, can we? Let's do
we,
it.
we already know the name for it.
Yeah, yeah. The wax donut.
No.
Yes, wax donut is
No.
the name.
No. There's a more obvious choice.
Okay,
the
what
floor
was it?
donut.
Oh yeah, floor donut's the name. Yeah, that's right. You're right.
So, like, during construction here, Rob and I, being degenerates, we wouldn't eat on a normal basis. And so we would walk over to Aldi, and, like, they had, like, these, you know, waxy chocolate donuts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just what you were looking for.
They get
right.
it done in
Yeah.
a pinch.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not
right.
gonna. I'm not
Lot
gonna.
of calories, no nutritional value.
No.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need that.
And being degenerates.
This body was built on floor donuts.
That's right.
And being degenerates, we would drink, and then, like, we would occasionally drop them on the ground. And, like,
I think the idea was we were throwing them and we were trying to catch them.
yeah, true.
Oh.
Okay. Like, let's romanticize it.
Yeah.
But our friend James Lee, who built
Who
our
built the brewery? He's the best. He's built like 30-something breweries now.
yeah,
wow.
but like he coined them as floor donuts because they
It's
were on
written
the
on the wall in the back.
yeah, like we were eating them off the floor a lot. And he's like I can't be eating floor donuts. I'm a father now.
Yeah.
That's when things change.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, we can't be taking risky shit, like on our health. We have like other responsibilities. And so, but like Rob and I, like, whatever, like this was like in construction dust for like 5 minutes. Like, who cares? And
That's just good protein.
I mean, okay, let's be honest. Like, what's the difference between breathing in like 7 hours of construction
yeah.
dust versus just like eating a little bit of
Getting
construction
all in
dust
one
on
bite
a
on
donut?
off a
I'm
beautiful
just,
floor
like,
donut.
Was the floor wet?
No.
Was the
I
donut
don't-
wet?
The donut was never
I mean,
fine.
I think the donut's inherently wet.
Well, yeah, it definitely has a little bit of like sweat.
The inherently wet
The
donut.
wax
That's got to be a
coating,
beer name.
Yes.
It's blocking.
The
It's preventing any
Well,
of the dirt pickup.
sometimes the wax coating will sweat, and I don't know why. I don't want to know why, but it
Because
will.
beautiful things can still happen in this world,
That's
as
right.
topsy-turvy as
Oh
it
my
is.
God.
That's right.
Now, speaking of beautiful things, I want to talk about this beer I'm drinking. It's the Festbier,
Great segue.
and
Why is Dan putting us on track?
yeah, 'cause I
I
gotta get
we
into
still didn't even finish the story about how we've opened.
Yeah.
That's true. Yes, we'll get there. I want to pause though because we're recording this on August 20th, 2026.
Yeah.
I think that's correct.
Yep.
And one of the big controversial things every year is how early Are people going to put their Oktoberfest on? I don't have a problem with it. Seasonal creep. Like we talked about earlier, if people are going to buy a beer in its seasonal optimal time, you need to have it ready for that, because in November nobody wants Oktoberfest. So I want to applaud you
I could have it all
for having not only an Oktoberfest style beer, but having a Festbier and a Märzen. So the Märzen was the first one I had. Now I'm onto the Festbier. They're both really good.
Thanks.
And I think you will be having a fall festival near the end of September. Is that correct?
September 26th.
September
Nice,
26th, 2026.
Yeah.
Be there or be square. I think it's great. This beer is now the challenge is going to be making sure. I hope you made enough of it, because I feel like this Festbier is going to go really fast.
If it sells better than every other beer we've ever made, yeah, it's gonna be a problem. I packaged 20 kegs of each. For our best selling individual beer, it's like 4 kegs a week.
Yeah.
So 5 minimum weeks, and it's the middle of August. That's end of September, like right around the festival. We should have enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if I sell 5 kegs a week of both of these, holy fucking shit, I've done something that I've never thought possible.
Yeah.
So
It's a weird balancing act of getting it out into the public.
Yeah.
Because on the wholesale side, and I hate that this is a thing, if you're the last one to the game, the liquor stores are like, oh, we already bought all of our fest beer for the year.
Right. Yeah.
We got the brands, we got the
They're on the
SKUs.
winter warmers. They're
That's
on
right,
the Great
yeah.
Lakes Christmas
So-
sale.
And like, shout out to Shells and to Summit, like they kill it every year. But and their beer is delicious. I'm not gonna discount it because I love their beers. But I think both released their fest beers at the beginning of August, maybe even the end of July. And last year, I think released our fest beer in the first or second week of September. And and then we tried to sell it in the wholesale market, and I was like, no, we don't want it. Like it's just not gonna sell through by the middle of October, and we just don't want to bring that in right now. And it's like and the fest beer last year was great, and it sold really well in the tap room, and it's in my opinion very good this year as well, and hopefully it'll do well in the wholesale market as well. But you have to balance that wholesale market release strategy versus tap room strategy, and that's just a pain in the butt because everyone's creeping forward. Like I'm sure next year it's gonna be the third week of July that everyone wants to release the beer, and then the week before it's just gonna be a Christmas thing all over again.
It's not just beer. The fucknuts at Target think it's a great idea to have school supplies on sale in the middle of June.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit. Oh my God. I've
remember,
never wanted to drive a flaming Mack truck full of petrol into a store more than when I see that. It just gets the rage inside me going. It's not good.
On that note, though, I remember walking through Costco, I think in the end of June, and I took pictures of it and sent it to our taproom manager who loves Halloween, and they had the Halloween stuff up already. And I remember the reason I sent it is because there was this skeleton that had motion sensors, and it scared this kid, and it tickled me.
That kid was Robby.
The kid was me.
I wet my pants. We gotta go home.
And I remember sending it because it's so funny that they already have it up at the end of June for Halloween. It's like I like holidays, but they have a time.
Yes.
Now, as a kid who probably could have stood to have more friends and was really into Halloween,
it shows.
Thank you. There was one year when I started making Halloween decorations in July, and I begged my mom to take me to the craft store and get the multicolored construction paper pack, and I threw every color away except for white, orange, and black, and I started cutting out jack-o'-lanterns and bats and ghosts, and she was befuddled and angry. She's like, why did you throw all that away? I'm like, well, these are the only 3 colors I need. She's like, that doesn't mean they needed to go in the garbage, but also, Halloween decorations in July. So, I loved Halloween.
On that note, we have Maury Povich coming in. This has all been an elaborate setup.
Oh, great.
To talk about Dan.
Time to unload some childhood trauma.
This whole podcast thing.
You are not the father.
The way I
I didn't think I was.
Looking for
I didn't unhook a bra until 2002.
Is he not relevant anymore?
I think he is.
Oh, thank God.
People of a certain
I
age
don't
will
want to
know.
age myself.
Dan and I are older than you guys, so it's fine.
That's right. Still remember when Maury Povich and Connie Chung were the power couple of Hollywood.
Well,
So
People listening to that is like, well, who are these people?
So I just looked up in my text messages, and I have a text from my friend Glenn at Pils, and on July 9th, he sent me a photo of their Festbier.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
July 9th.
I mean, I
My
think
God.
Yeah.
a couple years
Like,
ago.
I love Pils. I love their beer.
Well, you have to, though.
But like that early is like that's the game we're playing now. Like for Pils, like we have to be like in that. Like, we have to be there first.
In 2023, I was in Asheville, North Carolina, coming home. I was at the airport bar, Sierra Nevada, on like July 12th, and I had their Oktoberfest on tap. And I'm like, this is the earliest I have ever had an
God.
Oktoberfest. But then the year later, Brewing Change Collaborative did a field trip on July 20th up to Lupulin, and we all got cans of their Oktoberfest, a GABF gold medal winning Oktoberfest.
Yep.
And had that on July 20th. So I think that this concept, people get their undies in a bunch about this, and it's kind of just, like you said, if people are going to buy it, you don't want to miss it. You don't want to be late
Right.
to the game.
But
Yeah.
I think everybody could just get together and say, as an industry, we're not going to do this before this date. This is the date.
But it's
But,
they're not.
yeah.
Then you're saying no to money.
Yeah,
And we
but
live in a
there's going to be
capitalist
the people
society.
that don't abide by the social norm.
Right.
Fuck those people.
Well,
The
I
people that don't
agree.
zipper merge. The
I
people
agree.
that don't have a plan when they go into a Costco.
But there's like
The people that don't fight back
Yeah.
against Papa John's lackadaisical knuckle dragging
Yeah.
pizza delivery drivers.
There's-
Like
there's like
we
the-
could do a whole podcast about
There's
that.
like the 60-70% of people that don't follow the plan and they don't pay attention to news or whatever. And then by the time that November starts, they're done drinking Oktoberfest. And if you're stuck with inventory,
Yeah.
you're stuck with
But
inventory.
isn't that going to get pushed up? Like, if you're stuck with your inventory on October 1st now? Because it's starting so early.
Kinda, but I think the saving grace of the Oktoberfest is that it's called Oktoberfest. So people will still drink it through October. But the moment November...
And if
won't
you
be
want to
able
get
to find
technical,
it in
doesn't
October.
Oktoberfest end on like the second weekend of October?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's
I
a
think
bunch
it's
of
like-
there's a bunch of sheep out there drinking Oktoberfest on like Halloween. It's like, oh, it's Oktoberfest. No, it's not.
Yeah, on like a side tangent to all this, there's a holiday that I'm going to name right now. It's not an official holiday yet. There's a millennia anniversary
thought.
for a brewery in 2040 that makes an Oktoberfest beer, Feinstefaner Brewing, in Bavaria. They make one of the best Hellas's I've ever had.
Oh,
They've defined the style for
and
Hefeweizen.
y'all know your way around to Hellas.
Yeah, and they make excellent beer.
Gold medal winner.
But like this idea of holidays and like celebrating beer. Feinstefaner is celebrating a millennia anniversary in 2040.
And that's
so, in Bavaria.
But yes, I know where Bavaria.
So I have some time to plan.
But millennia, tell me what number that is. Is that
1,000
500?
1,000 years.
Did you just say we're taking a road trip to
That's what I
Germany
heard.
That's right.
in
Hell
2040?
Yeah.
Because I'll start doing P90X so I can fit into Lederhosen. If I start now, I feel like when is 2040? That gives me
We have
14
time.
years
Yeah.
to find abs.
So-
I think they're in there.
Yeah.
I did just
I'll be 50.
hidden.
I'll be 50 at this millennia anniversary.
So old.
Good God, 2040. How old are you?
I'm 36 this year.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I'm 35.
Get
So
out
if you're going to be
here.
50
Yeah,
in
I know.
2040,
We don't need to say the number, Dan. Don't say it.
And
Don't say
Dan
it.
will be 79.
no, I'll be 61.
Yeah, but like
Oh, that's the Hollywood 40.
That's right. It's the St. Paul 87.
no, but like I think it's so incredibly special.
What's
that-
in the water? Why do you
Yeah.
look so old?
It's so
Yeah.
incredibly special that we're going to see a millennia anniversary for a brewery in our lifetimes. And
Yeah,
That's
where's your
great.
microphone? Pop, pop. We can't hear you.
oh my God, my bad.
Thank you.
It's like incredibly special. We're going to see a millennia anniversary for a brewery in our lifetimes. I'm counting on it. Like I want to be there for this because like you don't see 1,000-year anniversaries for anything anymore. Like
No.
everything is new.
Yeah.
It's fast. It
Doesn't
comes
last
and
that
goes
long.
whatever. Weinstefaner defined a style of beer, Hefeweizen, because like they were German royalty, and the Reinheitsgebot, like the German beer purity law, didn't apply to them because they could still make wheat beer during a famine. I might have my facts wrong a little bit on this. It doesn't matter.
We don't fact check here.
Yeah.
The more you know.
You know,
I mean,
the world we live in doesn't matter.
Stay
One
in
thing I
school,
know about
kids.
the Germans, they do not care about facts
But
at
like-
all. So
But like when we buy a Hefeweizen yeast strain, it is almost certainly a clone of their Hefeweizen yeast. They have effectively defined a style of beer. They're turning 1,000 years old in only 14 years.
Yeah.
I am super excited to go see this.
I think
And-
the fact that I like the most about that whole thing is that for Hefeweizen fans, you know that it kind of tastes like a banana or a clove.
yeah.
But that flavor, like the banana flavor, didn't exist in Germany when that happened. So, like the
Yeah,
yeast
that's a-
gave
that's a
that
very good
Did
banana
the
point.
clove flavor exist?
I'm not sure
Oh
about
yeah,
the clove.
if you've
but
ever had a good sour brat and you know cloves
Yeah.
exist.
Well,
but that yeast would put off that banana flavor, but they didn't have bananas yet. So
They just thought,
So
when
like
they-
they got this fruit and they're like,
they just thought
"Hey, this
Igor.
tastes like our beer."
Did Igor teabag the mash again? What are you doing back there? Put
Yeah,
your
like,
pants back on.
I-
This is
I-
not proper.
because I personally love the idea of a bunch of Germans that are like, "Ha, we found a fruit that tastes like our beer. That's like,
right.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's,
Like,
that's
so
a
funny.
great point, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
Yeah,
Like, what a great fruit. It's like, oh, it tastes like my favorite beer. Like, that's great.
And this brings up something that I think is important. But you just pointed out some really specific, really important beer history.
Yeah.
Obviously, you both have backgrounds in home brewing. I think home brewing has been a catalyst for a lot of breweries.
Yeah.
I want to get your take on the fact that the brick and mortar homebrew store went the way of the dodo bird and the squatty potty. They don't really exist anymore.
Oh, yeah. I have as a former employee, not employer, Jesus Christ, employee of Northern Brewer. So I worked at the Midwest Supplies homebrew shop for about 9 months. We started construction here. I needed a part-time job to kind of like fill the gaps, and like I didn't want to be in the way of the contractors while they were building out stuff. So I'm like, I'll go work at a homebrew shop and earn a couple bucks and just kind of shoot the shit during the day, and then I'll come here at night and do the things I need to do. And so I went to the Midwest Supplies homebrew shop. That is where I bought my first homebrew kit. And that was like 2009 or 2010, who can remember. I started my home brewing experience at Midwest Supplies. I ended up working there for about 9 months during construction here. I watched that business get gutted for parts by private equity. We couldn't afford to fix the lights while I was there. And like we had all this inventory on the floor, and I kept getting told by management, if you can get a price above this, sell it. And like I had a 1,000-liter tank on the floor, and I had a guy come in and he's like, hey, I'll give you $400 for that. I'm like, it's fucking sold, because like it was more than the company paid for. So I kind of watched the death of this institution that like kind of created the basis for what I have now.
Yeah.
Now, Northern Brewers still exists as an online store and
Right.
does all that, but like you lose the brick and mortar part of it where you can walk into the front door and ask for advice and
Yeah.
help and all that. But like on the flip side of that, I come from the wine industry here in Minnesota. I was a vineyard manager for over 10 years. And while I was there at this Midwest Supplies homebrew shop, every time somebody would walk in through the front door and go like, hey, I harvested a bunch of grapes. What do I do with them? All my coworkers would just point to me and go, talk to that guy. And hey, I just harvested 400 pounds of fruit. What do I do with it? I'm like, it's August 3rd. What do you mean you harvested? He's like, well, the grapes turned color. I'm like, you're a month and a half early. And like, so
Can
what do
you
I do?
unharvest those?
Yeah,
That
like,
happens to a lot of guys. Okay, let's just calm down.
yeah.
We're
And
getting
like-
a little judgy here.
and then they're like, what do I do? I'm like, try again next year. Because like there's no amount of sugar or anything you can do to make that fruit palatable. Like you can make the worst wine you've ever tried by like putting that through process, and just try again next year. Homebrew shops are kind of like where you like kind of like test your ropes out on it. You know, it's just that's where you find advice as like an up and comer. Mark from Back Channel would come in like into the homebrew shop every now and then, and he would go like, hey, I'm short a bag of this, I'm short a bag of that. I'm like, well, I've got that for you. And so like, I got to know Mark really well at the homebrew shop, like when we're really in the weeds and like trying to plan. I'm like, hey, I need advice here. So we went out to back channel, and Mark, Melissa, Josh, Ollie, everybody sat down with us for like over 3 hours, and like we kind of like just shot the shit and like what worked for you, what didn't.
Yeah.
Homebrew shops kind of afforded the opportunity to run into people who knew better than you, and we've lost that kind of as an institution here in, I guess, nationwide now, because there's not many of them left.
Well, I want to take it a step further. I think about people that I've talked to in the industry who worked at Northern Brewer, people who founded Insight, Bad Weather. There are so many people, industry stalwarts, who have, if you wanted to start a brewery, pick the brains of these folks, and there's way more. But how do you people get the itch now? Because I remember that was inspiring to me to be able to like, wait a minute, I can make beer at home. And you know, when I dipped my toe in the home brewing pool back in the day, we talked about Moose Drool, the Northern Brewer extract kit, Caribou Slobber. I made my fair share of Caribou Slobber.
Great name.
And Fat Tire, that was like spelled differently.
Yep.
But like I thought that was really Yep.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really fun. And I would go on the forums, and one thing I learned, Josh Secor, the head brewer at Gambit, he's been on the Basic Brewing Radio podcast and apparently has a YouTube channel, which
I did not know this.
I don't know. Well, here's the funny part. I don't know if Josh listens to the Brewery Adventure, but I heard from Mike Christensen up at Alpine that Josh probably doesn't want people knowing about this YouTube. So go find it, check it out, because he was very passionate about homebrewing. But I think about like in a certain generation of people just in the Twin Cities, and we could expand this out nationwide. But the number of people who caught that bug, and you know, maybe for various reasons, maybe their local bar didn't have the amount of craft beer options that they wanted. Well, if that was the case, there were a lot of like resources. We could go to the homebrew shop and feel the grain, taste the grain, have a conversation with somebody who was working there but planning their own brewery.
Yeah.
So it was a very real thing. Tapping into that passion is pretty special.
Yeah.
How does somebody in 2026 get that bug? Because going into a brewery is one thing, but like being immersed in like all the books I own, I tell people I'm the world's worst English teacher because my library at home, it's all beer books, all bourbon
talking
books.
about the hops and whatever.
It's not the classics.
But
but how do we keep this going? Because in 2040 you're going to be 50 years old. I'm going to be a dinosaur.
That's right, 79.
We need a way to kind of pass the torch. How does that happen?
So I'm going to just do a quick little spiel, and then Matt can take over. For the dum-dums like me that like the extract brewing, and we are just scratching the surface of brewing. We like to make a beer that's palatable and like maybe a little bit more than that. Like the homebrew shops and stuff were a great resource. Even the online stores can help with that. We try our best. We're trying to like fine-tune the recipe a little bit to get better. But there's a breed of brewers out there, home brewers included, that they read the books. They're trying to interpret what these like really talented brewers are trying to put out there, and then take that and apply it to their kit. So here's like the big thing is like no water is the same, no like grain bill is the same, no yeast is the same, no hop is the same. You're getting a bunch of hodgepodge stuff together, and you're doing your best to make the best beer you can. For the home brewer, you're hoping that your homebrew shop is doing their due diligence to give you the best ingredients they can. The downside to that is no homebrew shop can, because they're doing their best to pull from stuff that are going to production breweries. So if you can rely on your homebrew shop to give you what they can, the biggest downside is the yeast. But Matt can go into that detail. I made some, what I'm going to say, pretty good palatable beer and homebrew. Like it was
technically
drinkable.
beer.
It was drinkable.
Can that be a beer name? Pretty good palatable beer.
It was pretty good palatable beer. But like
Pretty good. Pretty good.
So when Matt and I were on our upswing of like, okay, we're going to do this, we brewed, I think, something like 50 batches of hazy IPA within 40 weeks.
Wow.
Like it was a lot. And we were like, we were testing different hops. We were testing different yeast. We were like, let's figure it out. And that became Convergent Evolution, which is our flagship hazy. It has changed since we've been open. It is going to continue to change. We're going to keep working on it, but it is.
But it's a hazy that is of high quality, I think. And I'm not a hazy. I know hazy.
Yeah.
I've had Treehouse. I've had the Alchemist. Like I think those are delicious.
Yeah.
Problem with hazies is that the good ones are few and far between. You have to wade through a swamp of bad ones. Well, that's what I was really hoping when Donald Trump got elected. When he said drain the swamp, I'm like, I hope he's going to get rid of those subpar hazies so I don't have to go through a minefield anymore. But nope, they still exist.
I am not a hazy IPA fan in general. I used to be. After brewing 300 plus gallons and then drinking about 275 of those gallons, like combined between Matt and I.
Not all heroes wear capes.
I still haven't quite been like, I want to drink hazy IPAs again. I'm not there yet. I like our hazy IPAs. They're fine. Like they're good. But like I just can't do it. I'm strictly like almost a lager drinker at this point. But Convergent Evolution it's a balanced hazy. It gives you some citrus tropical notes. It gives you some white wine characteristics. It's leaving you in a spot that is great. Like your palate is not destroyed. You can have a beer after, you can have a beer before, and you're not gonna feel like your tongue is overwhelmed.
Yes, I think there need to be, in my opinion, and I'm just one
beer guy.
Just
Dan.
one beer guy amidst a sea of beer guys and beer gals and beer theys and just beer fans in general. I reposted a thing on Instagram today and was like, why do you keep calling your coworkers fucker? I said, and the next line is like, because it's gender neutral. So I want to have, we're all beer fuckers. I think a good hazy IPA needs to be very bright, tropical, fruity at the beginning. It has to have like a pillowy mouthfeel, and it should finish with some modicum of hop dryness to balance out the sip.
Yeah.
And I think if you can do that, you can sell a lot of hazy IPAs.
I'm going to finish my thought, and then Matt can take over because he's the one that actually knows.
We're on the same wavelength, I think, right here.
Yeah. I firmly believe that if you're gonna make hazy IPAs and make them so that people want to keep drinking them, like maybe I'm wrong. I might be wrong. But you want to balance them out so that once you're done with your 16, 18, 19 ounces of it, you can drink another beer and taste whatever you're drinking in the next.
Right.
And when you're drinking a lot of hazy IPAs that I've had in the past, it's like it bombards your tongue to the point where you can have a spicy beer and you're not going to taste it because the hops have just crept on your tongue so much that your palate is done. And I think that is something that I like our hazy for that reason alone, that you can have a beer after it and it will still taste like the beer you want it to be.
You can still taste it.
You've mentioned something that I kind of want to unpack a little bit. Is that hop burn, or what are you talking about specifically? Because I've had beers where it's just all of a sudden the back of my tongue is kind of burning, not in a spicy way, but just it's too much.
Yeah, I would qualify that as hop burn. The alpha acids and everything else in the hop oil we can perceive as bitterness when they're boiled. You can at some point overwhelm your palate. Thank you. You can.
Robby, you're getting their conversation because your mic is there. Just put it in your crotch where the mic belongs.
Oh,
pervert!
My lord!
And our special guest Merv the Perv has showed up, and he's gonna. Don't have to bleach that microphone later.
But at some point, you can overwhelm your palate with the amount of hop oil and everything else that's present in the beer. And so, hop-saturated ales for a brief period of time were a thing, where 10 pounds per barrel of hops were added to and dry hop to a beer. These things were almost thick with hop oil and with
2 C's,
almost a Q at that point.
I mean, I love all forms of thick, but not that.
Yeah.
Not thick
and,
IPAs.
and so like it overwhelms your palate to a point where like it's almost impossible to taste anything else. And if you're a haze head, my God, that might be like heaven for you. But for someone who wants a normal beer as just like an everyday drink, which is what beer really should be, then that kind of beer kind of like destroys everything else in your life. You're not going to enjoy your dinner if you're going to have that kind of beer on top of it.
Yeah.
At some point, like you're making that single beer the mainstay of your day.
Yep.
Because it's going to like impact everything else that goes beyond it. So having a super high saturated beer with hop oils and everything else is a choice as a brewer to say like, this is the only thing my customer is going to take. Going to taste. My stutter's coming out now. But it's the only thing that customer is going to taste, and that's a problem if you want them to try anything else.
Yeah.
Well, there's also let's get back to the economics of that. You know, I recall and one brewery owner called it the hops arms race, and he was like, I refuse to participate in the hops arms race. But I know from talking to Eric Senerud, a lot of these hops, you know, and something that if you're listening to this and you want to learn more about public versus private hops, you should go to One Pint Stand and find my interview with Eric Senerud, because he really did a deep dive into that, and I did not know all the machinations of that. And that's a you know, you want to talk about, you know, cost, you want to talk about, you know, what's the word, not logistics, but like worker conditions of these hop farms that basically in some cases have worked people to death. But, you know, if you're making a beer that you want to sell and you want to make money on, if you're dumping, I mean, back in the day, it was not unheard of. Like, you know, people would brag 5 pounds per barrel, 7 pounds per barrel, 10 pounds per barrel, 15. Why? Wouldn't the mark of a skilled brewer be to do research on coaxing the same flavors out of those hops with maybe 3 pounds per barrel?
Yeah.
Versus having to dump literally the kitchen sink of your hop supply in there?
So I think I can answer this pretty well. Every home cook thinks that they can open up a restaurant. Like every successful home cook thinks they can open a restaurant.
That's a great segue into my new venture, the coming down to the pick and lick. It's going to be happening.
Oh my God.
Every successful home brewer thinks they can open up a brewery. At some point, you need to find the balance between how much is too much, like how much butter in a dish makes it gross and fatty, versus, oh my God, this is the most luxurious thing I've ever eaten.
Well, if your name is Paula Dean, that does not exist.
yeah, like let's deep fry that in butter. But at some point, but like,
we'll edit that out.
You got to snort out of Dan.
Oh, hell yeah. But like the idea that more is more is prevalent in a lot of different craft breweries. People keep adding, like, hey, this beer's not exactly where I want it to be. Let's add more to it. Let's add additional dry hop. Let's add more fruit. Let's add this. Let's add that. And at some point, it's not really beer anymore. It is a hop tea or a fruited like cider more than whatever.
Well, on the balance sheet, then doesn't it also become diminishing returns because you've spent so much money and ingredients? And I have to believe that comes at the cost of other beers. We're like, okay, we spent all this on this, so we can't get the fancy dark malt for our stout because
for sure
we put $9 bajillion into this hazy IPA.
But when you're at a large scale, the goal is the marketing of the beer. So if you're going to spend some amount of money, but you're going to make some amount of money plus $5, whatever, on every single flat of beer that you're selling, it doesn't matter. If you're saying like, oh, we're going to put 100 IBU into this beer because people are going to buy it, because that's the craze. It's like, we want the highest IBU beer.
Right.
I'm not talking about a specific beer by any means right now, but it's like there was a craze when I got into beer.
It was the hops arm race.
Right.
Yeah.
The bitter hop arms race.
Right.
We're like, and that's where I got into beer.
Do you remember Hop Stupid?
Yeah, like that's what I'm talking about.
120 some IBUs, okay.
That's how I got into beer. Matt's brother was like, you got to drink these ambers, these browns, these stouts. And I was like, these are all disgusting. And my brother-in-law gave me a Sierra Nevada Torpedo, which I've talked about in the past. That's the beer that got me into beer. I was like, oh my God, like this bitterness is amazing. And so like I firmly loved bitter IPAs. That was how I got into beer. And it's not the typical way to get into beer.
Yeah.
But that was my entry. And now I'm like firmly in the lager territory. It's pretty rare that you'll find me drinking an ale by any means. I just like lighter lagers. And that's my bias. But
like on the cost structure, at some point you
Okay, hold on. I
Okay.
got to tell. All right, you said Sierra Nevada Torpedo.
Yep.
Guess what the IBUs are on that one?
I'm going to guess 91.
You should not buy a lottery ticket tonight or go axe throwing because the answer is 65.
Oh, that's so low. All right.
But
I'm gonna
okay.
Here's my brewery ownership card.
This gets me to kind of the point that I guess I'm trying to make.
But it's a 9%-ish beer, 8.7.
Let's see what well, hold on.
Look back
hold on.
when it was like 2000.
No, he's
7.2.
not-
They changed the recipe.
7.2.
Yeah,
So
I changed the recipe back in like
They didn't change it.
2013.
Okay, 7.2%. I think there is, if you know what you're doing with ingredients through biotransformation or just reading up, understanding how yeast works, understanding how to manipulate yeast, you can get those targets out of what you want.
Yeah.
And I think it's like, I mean, if you want to go back, it kind of goes back to homebrewing, that experimental phase. Like, how does this thing perform? Everybody listening, if you're really a beer nerd, what I would encourage you to do, and there's 2 locations. There's a go-to White Labs. There's one in San Diego. There's one in Asheville. Those are the 2 I know about. But if you go to that place, you can find, and this is an incredible beer experience, because what they'll do is they'll put 2 beers on, 2 beer styles using this, or they'll do one single style using 2 different yeasts and show you how different those beers are.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's homebrewing. That's curiosity. That's passion. That's understanding. That's how Town Hall stays in business.
Yeah.
Town Hall, they're not flashy. They're for sure not dumb. I've been at the bar when people staying in the hotel came in, who were obviously in town for some sort of wedding or cult meeting, asked the bartender, "Do you have a hazy IPA?" To which the bartender said no. And watching the body language on those 3 people, like, what? What do you mean you don't have a hazy IPA? Why would you need to chase trends or fads when you do the basic beers so well? And yes, they've been around since 1997, but they have always prioritized process, research, understanding. They don't need to chase trends. They don't need to dump 15 pounds of hops in a batch, because that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's a fun balancing act between doing traditional brewing and trying to maximize what you have of the ingredients you have, and not like, oh, the only way I achieve this flavor is by overloading the beer with this thing that's going to accentuate that flavor.
Yep.
It's a balancing act between that of like, hey, I want this flavor in this beer, so I need to use this much of it to get to that position. So like for our flagship hazy, to achieve that white wine character, that tropical note, there's a certain number of hops that like I need to add, and right now it's around 3 pounds per barrel. I keep seeing online from other breweries like, hey, we do 4 pounds per barrel dry hop for a hazy IPA. Like, cool. That's a minimum for some other breweries. And some are like, hey, we're doing 6 pounds per barrel. I can understand how some of these places arrive at that number, and like their yield is lower because the hops absorb liquid. The number of kegs and cans they can get out of each batch reduces, which increases their cost per unit and everything else. But like if they're chewing through the volume, they can justify the cost.
Right.
Yeah.
But like if you're a smaller spot, like you kind of have to be nimble with that. We're like, hey, how do I maximize the ingredient that I'm putting in? Like, how do I not be wasteful here? And I think that's like a legitimate part of brewing that people should maybe fall back on. You know, like, can I achieve the same amount of hop extraction on 2 pounds per barrel instead of 4?
There is a homebrew equation in here that we always dealt with, which is how much money do we want to spend on a 5-gallon batch of beer? And that's a hard equation because now when we're brewing here, money doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's a $2,000 batch of beer. It's like, oh, hell, that makes sense.
Yeah, $100 a keg, whatever.
Yeah. And when we were homebrewing, it's like, oh, that was a $47 batch of beer that we had to dump down the drain, and that really fucking hurts. And but But that's what you do as homebrewers. You're trying your best to like maximize the returns for what you get to drink.
And you're doing it on the worst possible equipment too.
By far the worst.
So like the commercial equipment affords you the opportunities to make egregious mistakes and maybe not completely screw it up. I've got 20 kegs of our flagship hazy that I'm going to dump. I noticed an oxidation issue on it. I think I've traced it back to a bad gasket on a tank that allowed oxygen ingress into the vessel during fermentation. I didn't catch it before packaging. All those things. Now, like, there's 20 kegs worth of beer that I now need to destroy. And that's like over $1,000 worth of material, not to mention the time, labor, and everything else that goes into it.
Well, but the potential profit.
Right. And like all the potential revenue
That's
from that. So like, I'm going to put it down the drain because...
Do you have a ceremony when this happens?
I play Sarah McLachlan.
But it's not like, and I tried to, we were talking about this earlier, it's like, it's not just the beer that's getting dumped down the drain. It's now we have to rebrew that beer and tie up another tank that could have gone to a different beer that could have been, like, it's a cascading effect of like now for the next like 3 or 4 months, our production schedule is thrown off by
wonky.
2 or 3 weeks because one tank is tied up like off and on because one beer got screwed up.
But you know, that's I know it's a tough decision to make, but it's the right decision.
Correct.
Good brewers dump bad beer.
Yep. Yeah.
And so like when you taste a beer on tap that is like, hey, what the hell is in my glass?
Yeah.
Then like, you know, like every business owner, every brewer gambles that equation every now and then.
Yeah.
Of like, am I proud of this to serve? When the answer is no, take your lumps and dump it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The brewery no longer exists, so I'm gonna talk a little shit, but
I was
gonna say don't say the name, but
no, talking shit.
I've been on a streak of bleeping names out, so I can always bleep it out.
Go for
I'm
it.
gonna ask you to
they're not
bleep
around
the name,
anymore.
but if you don't want to, I understand.
If they're not in
but
existence anymore,
it
we're
did
good.
get me sick, so like.
Yeah, but like they're no longer in business. We went like on their closing weekend, and I tasted parasitic acid in a beer, which should not happen. At some point, the yeast should consume that, convert that to other byproducts and everything else.
Their pale ale was also gray.
Yeah, like the color's wrong. Everything else is part of it.
But you drank it anyway?
I did. I think one of the owners.
I'll take the Gandalf Light,
one of
please.
the owners was there, and I felt bad, so I had to finish the beer.
Yeah, and so like just talking a little shit. If we don't call out our friends for doing bad things, like putting out a beer that tastes bad, well, then we ruin the reputation of the industry as a whole. And Minnesota wine, which I worked in for 10 years, has that problem pervasively. Everybody has a bad perception of Minnesota wine. Nearly everybody who's been to a Minnesota winery has had a bad experience. And like there's like maybe 5 or 6 different wineries that is making good beer, good wine. And
I have a fun time at the winery. I don't have a great time drinking the Minnesota wine.
Yeah. Right. And so like if that's your experience, then you're like, oh, all Minnesota wine is like this. And if that's the case with Minnesota beer, where like every beer I have at a Minnesota brewery is bad, then like, oh, well, Minnesota beer just sucks. If we hold each other accountable and like, hey, like you're fucking this up, maybe change your process here, do this different, whatever, and we kind of lift each other up, then we all make better beer. The industry itself is better for it. I don't know. Maybe we all do a little bit better as a result.
Also, wouldn't you? Okay, so like if I have friends over for dinner and I try a new recipe and it doesn't come out well, I want to know that it wasn't good.
Yeah, at one point,
putting jelly beans on your steak is not a good idea.
As long as you were intending
It's called
to serve those
sweet
people
and salty,
dinner.
and it's a cuisine adventure. But I always like, you know, I think there's like telling somebody, oh, this beer sucks. Well, that's not helpful. But if you like have the understanding of like what it should be and be like, hey, I'm getting this thing. Have you heard that before? Is that supposed to be? I think it's all about how you phrase the feedback if it's constructive. But I just have to believe that you want to know, because in a perfect world you would be able to taste your beer at every stage, you know, back there when you're doing samples off the tank, when it comes on tap, when it goes into packaged product, if you're tasting it, it's like, okay, this is tasting as it should. Well,
Yeah.
there are a lot of things that can happen that are out of your hands. If you sell your beer to a liquor store and they don't put it in a cooler, well, it's going to deteriorate the beer, and that's not your fault. But like, if somebody comes in and tries a Wandering Leaf beer on tap, and like, hey, I'm getting this, like, is this normal?
Yeah.
You'd want to know.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this kind of like leans into like the history of our own space here. So I stepped back in as head brewer back in October. Within 2 months, Matt Waddell came in and
1T,
T,
as he's called.
It's on my list of things that I didn't even tell you.
Your
Yeah.
2 T's.
So Matt Waddell came into our space.
He
and
called me Matt today,
yeah.
by the way, which is I think is the highest honor. So
Yeah. So
You get to be the third Matt.
I'm 3 T's now.
Oh, all right, all right.
So he came into our
Rob
space
with 3 T's.
to operate his pen name fermentation project, and part of that is like a little bit of site consulting and kind of just like overviewing our process. I'm a home brewer. I worked, like, my production experiences in the wine industry, so beer is something I know, but like there's always things to improve upon. And his presence here has completely reshaped how I look at beer. And his hypercritical feedback on beer has been an absolute blessing. So within, I would say, 2 months of him being here, I rebrewed a batch of ossuary, which then we submitted to the guild. That won first place. Thank you. First place on our for international pale lager.
Because it's fucking great.
Yeah. But like when you were announcing like the winners of that category, and then like I heard Lupulin as number 2, I'm like, fuck, we're out of this category. and like you rang off our name. I'm like, I think I legitimately blacked out. And I'm like, oh, that was us.
I can confirm.
I have it on video.
Yeah.
I have the whole thing on video.
So like
He took off all of his clothes.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, you weren't lying about the Ken doll thing.
but like radical candor is like an important part of beer, of like where your friends should be able to tell you what you're doing wrong, what you're doing right, and like lean into it.
But I think that says a lot about you also
Yeah.
as a brewer, that you are willing to accept someone else's help and their feedback and not just be like, no, I'm fine. I got
Yeah.
this. I
But-
know what I'm doing.
But that's the same advice I'd give to everybody who'd be opening up any business of any type. Your peers in your industry, when they tell you something that like they're experiencing as a problem, listen to them. So someone telling you that like, hey, your cooler's too small, listen to them.
Yeah.
This problem is going to be a major issue. Listen to them. And if you don't, you're an idiot. Hey, like all these 30 people who are like all experiencing the same thing like that I'm going to enter into, they're all wrong. I'm the unique case here.
Yeah.
Right,
I
yeah.
can overcome that on
Yeah,
my own.
I can
I'm
overcome
fine.
it. Like everybody else experienced this, I'm gonna be the new one.
Well, we are the smartest people in the world.
Oh, for
So
sure.
that
You can
is
be
like-
the smartest people because you listen to other people.
Yeah, for sure. I was just being a little facetious, but
Yeah.
Yeah, but
but okay, this has been a long time coming. But I actually have a question for both Courtney and Dan, which is like,
Oh, no.
when
Do we allow
Yeah.
this?
No.
It's
sorry,
happening.
I'll take it
I
back.
don't
No, like, but when you go to a brewery, when you own a brewery, or like you're a brewer, or you're generally in the industry, you tend to drink their lagers or their pilsners or whatever it is because you wanted to see how their processes are. Like, you can't hide behind a pilsner. Like, there's just off flavor. But when you go to a brewery and you try their hazy IPA and you are like, I don't know about that one. Do you perceive it or no? Is it easier to perceive an off flavor in the hazy or not?
Dan and I have two very different drinking
Ooh,
styles.
I like this. Okay.
I love this.
I didn't know this, so I'm
Yeah,
very
one of-
excited to hear the answer.
They are very different.
We have two very different drinking styles. Dan can easily detect, and no, I'm drinking this style of beer. I don't need to speak for you, but I'm going to right now.
You should.
You should.
He knows
Not
his-
the first time a white lady has put words in my mouth.
Oh, I can't do it now.
No, go for it.
No, keep going. I'm gonna keep
Dan-
egging you on to put
Dan
words
knows
in his
his
mouth.
beer. Dan knows his beer. Any style of beer, he knows what he's expecting to taste. He knows if he tastes something that is not quite right, or like you told me that this was this kind of beer, and it's a good beer, but it's actually this other kind of beer. You should not call it this. That's happened many, many times. Dan knows beer flavors. It's what makes him Dan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's very
but-
special.
Yeah.
He's Dan.
I mean,
But like, so
I'm not
okay.
going to notice your off flavor unless it is significantly
Sure.
bad, like the beer at.
Okay,
I'm
so
calling it
like,
the rat cellar.
Let's ignore Dan for a second, because
so I'll say it. It was, and then we went to, and we ordered a, and I wanted it, and I said, this tastes like.
Yeah. I knew that beer was bad. Like, but it has to be at that kind of level for me to be like, oh, I'm not drinking this.
Okay, so let's ignore Dan, who let's say he's a super fan of beer. He comes in the tap room. He knows what beer should taste like.
Yes.
So I don't want to put words in your mouth, but let's say like you're a casual beer fan. You're going into a tap room. You like beer, but you're not like, oh, I'm just like, I'm a beer fan. And you're going up, you're going to order a beer.
Yeah.
And you get a beer and you're like, I don't know if I like that beer. What is your reaction to that?
Order a different one.
Oh, so you're like, oh, that wasn't like for you, it's like, oh, that wasn't the beer for me.
Yeah.
I'm going to get a different beer. It wasn't that the brewery screwed up. It was, okay.
Unless it is horrifically bad.
Yeah.
And then if it's horrifically bad, then maybe that's not the place I want to be.
But would you ask the bartender, like, I don't know, is this beer bad? Or like, what, like, my question is more of a...
At what point would I say something?
Yeah.
It would have to be really, really bad.
Okay.
But this is like, for like a...
Dan's got a lot to say right now. I know he does.
I wanna hold Dan
Yeah,
for a second,
that's
because like as a brewery owner, my question is more for the bartenders, where
This is like the perfect segue into the next thing. So yes, continue.
so like at what level is the casual beer drinker?
Like, should they be noticing if a person's not having a good time with their beer?
Right. Yeah. Like, so like, oh, I got this beer. I've had a pale ale in the past. I've had the Summit EPA. Love the Summit EPA. I got your pale ale. It's just not right. It's not good. But I don't know how to express this to you. But I want to get a different beer. So I'm going to try your IPA or whatever it is. But like, the whole point of this is that what I want from our bartenders is that if I poured you a 19-ounce, 20-ounce pour of beer and you don't like it, I want you to like the beer that you got.
Yeah.
So I would rather eat that cost and you get the beer that you like.
Yeah.
Because like as a casual beer drinker, I don't want you drinking a bad beer, like by any means. That's dumb. Like, you should always get a beverage that you like.
For me,
So,
it
like-
takes a lot for the beer to be bad.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
it takes a lot for me to be like, I don't want to drink this beer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
If
Jennifer.
it's even mediocre,
Yeah.
I'm still gonna drink it and just order a different one afterward.
Yeah. So whenever Jennifer and I go to like any craft brewery, she will order a flight, and for
Yes.
me, I feel like I don't know a beer until I'm three big sips into it.
Yeah.
So I never get flights. I get a pint and of a style that I want, and I'll drink that beer. But Jennifer will get a flight, and she'll like hand me it, like she's like hand me the glass, and she's like, take a sip. Guess what this is? And don't look at the menu. Guess what
She's
style.
testing you.
Yeah, she's like, guess what style of beer this is? We've been married for 11 years now. And like, this is kind of like a game that we do every brewery we go to. And part of that is, one, do I know the beer I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And two, is the brewery okay? And so like, hey, this is a pale ale. No, it's a Kolsch. Okay, that's
Not really.
not like glaring issue. It's more of a, I would have never guessed that.
Yeah.
Did the brewer achieve what they were trying to go for? I think this is segueing into Dan here.
I will say before Dan starts though.
Oh,
Yes.
My favorite, because he's
alienating
going to
Dan
start
here.
twitching over here. It's going to
Yeah,
be
yeah.
amazing. I like getting flights because when I come in here and see that you've got all these different beers on the board, I really want to try every single one of them to see what everything is and all the different flavors. I want one of everything, which is not a great idea. In one visit, you should probably not do that, but a flight is the best way to get the most flavors, the most
for sure.
different.
Okay, before Dan goes in,
no, we're just gonna keep him in the corner
Yeah.
the whole time.
we're just going to
Yeah.
keep saying this forever. Before Dan comes in, there's nothing wrong with a flight, except you have to drink it correctly. You can't go beer 1, 1 sip, beer 2, 1 sip, beer 3, 1 sip, beer 4, 1 sip, beer 1, 1 sip 2.
No, I want to drink the whole.
You have to drink the full 4, 5 ounces, but you got to do it in 1, 2, 3, 4 sips of one beer. The first beer cleanses the palate. The second beer gives you the base of the flavor beer. The third sip gives you the full flavor of the beer. The fourth, fifth sip, whatever you want to do, gives you the true essence of the beer. This is why when Matt was saying like I want to drink the full pint, you can't like go back and forth between like the beers. 'Cause you're not, if you keep switching back and forth, you're never gonna get the true flavor of the beer.
Right.
And like, I'm not saying this is like a snob. It's just
Well,
like
no, and also like beer is temperature sensitive.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
And if you let a beer sit, in some cases,
Or
if
out
it's
in the sun.
if it's a well, right, yeah. Good. I'm gonna Aaron Ziert, head brewer at Lupulin, phenomenal person to taste beer with. But if it's a nice day and you're on a beercation, you're not sitting out on the patio.
No.
You're indoors because the beer will get light struck. He will never do a flight for the very reason that you just said, Matt. I'm not going to say that there's a if you want to do flights, that's fine. I love flights. If I'm going to a place, because I'm 47 and a half, my
Yo.
yeah, that's right, exactly. It's possible I might die in the next 5 minutes, so be ready. Give me a CPR if you
Quick,
know
cut
how to
'em
do it. I like flights for the simple fact that I want a little taste of what's going on. I would love to have a full pour of everything on tap if I'm going to a new brewery. That's not realistic. So I try to, when I go to a new brewery, I'll get a flight and I'll note the beers that I really like. I'm like, okay, I want a full pour of these beers. I realize that's not the way you intended it, and I'm sorry, but
My God.
desperate times call for desperate measures.
Like, to be really honest, we weren't going to allow for flights when we first opened. We were pretty...
Courtney has thoughts about your
Yeah,
flight
I've got some
situation.
strong flight. Yeah.
Well, we
strong
were
feelings about flights.
We were pretty adamant about you don't get the full taste of a beer in 5 ounces. Oh, originally it was 4 ounces. We upgraded to the 5 ounce little glasses. We didn't even buy the initial flight glasses until I think a week or two into being open. There is something to be said about you make more money per ounce with flights and whatever, but you have to appeal to the audience and the beer snobs, and I don't know.
And those two things, if you're trying to hit both, that's quite the 7-10 split.
Yeah, it's
Here's
really
what I'll
difficult.
say. I think it's.
Are we letting him talk?
I
need
guess.
to
Can I-
pee so bad.
Can I get
All
this
right.
word in edgewise here? I think that every brewery is different. And I think that what needs to be understood is that a majority of people coming in your front doors and even the side doors, people are coming here for a craft beer experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how do you across the board make that good for the person like me? If I'm trying to write about a beer, if I'm really going to be nitpicking, I'm not ordering it in a 5 ounce pour. I'm getting a full pour. I'm going to be really nitpicky. But for the people that come in, and this comes down to staff training, and I think that the staff here at Wandering Leaf are really good. And I think that if somebody had a beer that they didn't like, you've pretty much got the A team on tonight.
Yeah.
So the folks pouring beers tonight, I always think what if the person that they're serving they've never been to a craft brewery before? Are they going to take time? Are they going to be like, I don't know what craft beer is? Is it there's a line behind you. Can I just get you this? I have the sense and I've seen it happen. What do you like? What flavor do you like? Try this, try that. There are some breweries that don't do samples.
Yeah.
And I think that is really stupid.
Yeah.
I think you're missing out on a sale if you're not willing to do samples. And I get the economics of it all. At a certain point, it's about getting somebody to come back.
Yep.
You need people to, because if you have a great experience at a place, you're going to tell your friends.
My grandpa would call this tripping over $1 to pick up a dime.
Yep.
And so if you're hey, I'm not going to do a sample because I'm going to waste 5 cents
Yeah.
on that pour.
That's
and
foolish.
Okay, well, you're going to miss an $8 sale if you're going to miss on that 5-cent sample.
But I think also in the greater point, the craft industry, I think, is, last I checked, 25 or 30% of beer sales, give or take. So Budweiser, Coors, Molson, whatever, is 70% of all beer sales. The Minnesota craft beer is 6% probably, because you got your Sam Adams, whatever, that are taking up the vast majority of it. The whole point is that if every tap room is doing the thing of educating beer drinker, potential beer drinkers, of this is what you could like, this is what you could like, And we're all doing our part to educate the next beer drinker. Like, oh, I do like sours, or I do like whatever.
Yeah.
When they go to the next tap room, they know that they like that style of beer. They know that they like the style of beer. Then they will maybe order that beer.
Yep.
I don't think, like, yes, for our bottom line, I do like the idea of, like, oh, yes, we did get the sale. But I also think, like, educating people in general is part of the craft beer ethos. I think that is a general goal for all of us. I think my sister's a great example. Hated craft beer. Or not even craft beer, just beer. She didn't drink beer. Like, she was a firm Jose Cuervo. Terrible.
Whoa.
I finally got her into beer by getting her into sours, and then she eventually started drinking fruited beers. And then she started now she's firmly into the stouts and porters and dark beers.
Everybody needs a gateway beer.
Everyone needs the gateway into beer, and if your staff is trained to find that gateway, but you have to ask the questions. I like dry red wines. My brother-in-law knew that, so he's like, try this super dry, hoppy IPA. And that was the catalyst for me. So he got me into beer because of that. And I think that's how you have to train your staff. Find that catalyst for people and have the beer on tap that could get them into beer.
Also, I watched when we brewed A Bit Weird in It. Okay. A malty beer, on the surface. Very low ABV.
Yep.
Probably one of the lowest that you've maybe ever done. And I watched people come in, what's that? Well, do you like malty?
Yeah.
Start there. Start with a flavor. Don't go, you don't need, and be like, yeah, I'll give that a try. It was so fun to watch, oh, this is really good.
Yeah.
Because there's this assumption that a dark beer has to be heavy.
Yeah.
And a light beer has to be light. That's not all. But it's about education and watching your staff just be open to okay, this is something new. This is something probably you haven't had. A dark English mild. It's not a style that's on everywhere, but I think it's a style that has viability in the current drinking climate where people are wanting lower ABV beers. Watching your staff walk people through what it would be and then seeing that resonate with people was really cool.
Yeah.
And something that I think is really important, that you can't just assume that looking at a beer, or if you had a bad experience with a certain beer style, that at brewery A, that's going to transfer to brewery B. And the onus is on your staff to do that, to showcase, and that's give a sample, have a conversation. What do you like? When I go to places and when people are like, well, what's your favorite go-to style? That's really refreshing because, as Courtney said, I've done a lot of, when I started writing about beer in 2014, I was who's going to take me serious if I don't know what the hell I'm talking about? So I've done a lot of research and I've taken classes and I've done all that stuff to understand beer styles and things like that. But I appreciate the beer tenders taking time to, well, what do you like? That's a great starting off point to have a great craft beer experience.
Yeah, one of so Matt and I both work the bar, not as often as before, but we try to work about once a month. I tend to work a little bit more than Matt, but a very common question is, what's your favorite beer? And I'm that's a great question. I like this beer. But what types of beers do you normally drink? If you I like this style of beer, but we don't have that. But let me talk about what flavor profiles do you normally like? It's just a breaking off point of what are you looking for your style of beer? There's a whole gamut of beer styles and beer flavors, and what are you going for? I firmly believe that you can go from any brewery to another, and you can have the same styles of beer across the board.
Right.
I could give you the same exact recipe from here and go to another brewery. It's going to be different. It's their production is different than ours. Their packaging is different than ours. So you're going to get a different experience. So your bartenders need to know how to explain that to a customer. Is it malty? Is it not malty? Is it bitter? Is it not bitter? Is it sweet? Is it not sweet? Does it have a little bit of a copper flavor to it? Does it not? You never know. Your bartenders need to be trained in that. Having bartenders that actually like, or at least try the beers at least a little bit to be able to explain it in a way that is tangible to the customer.
All right. It has to be accessible.
And like, I'm very honest with the customers when I'm working the bar and they're like, how do you feel about this beer? I'm like, it's not my style of beer. I don't particularly.
I've watched you say that. And I think that's refreshing.
I'm like, I don't particularly like amber ales or amber lagers. So if you are asking about that, I'm like, it's not
Not
for
your guy.
me. It's not for me. But what other customers have told me is that they like it because they like amber ales and amber lagers. But I don't particularly like those because people that like amber lagers and amber ales might not like the beers that I like. And so like, it's just it's a conversation, and you can have that conversation in 15 to 30 seconds, and the person behind you is not gonna like blink an eye at that.
No.
Right.
And they're okay with you as long as you give them that time of day as well.
That conversation is much better than just watching someone sit there and look up at the board and be
100%.
And having the server not engage with them to help them find something.
I think one of the things, to get back to one of the original questions, like, what do you do when you encounter a bad beer? I think that, when the Surly Bill was passed in 2011, that gave breweries the go-ahead to open up tap rooms. And we saw breweries opening up in the Twin Cities. We saw breweries opening up in greater Minnesota. And there was this kind of accepted thought process that like, well, to be fair, we'll give them 6 months to figure their stuff out. In 2026, I'm not willing to pay $8 for your R&D.
Yeah.
I think we're past that.
Yeah.
And I think if I'm at a brewery or a bar and a beer is served to me that is obviously flawed. Not that like, okay, I didn't understand the menu and I ordered an IPA and I don't like hoppy beers. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about if you get a beer that is flawed, that's bad, that's not up to quality.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with talking to somebody about that.
Oh, for sure.
I will
think
say
that's
that
important.
I'm on Courtney's side here where like I will put up with a lot when it comes to a beer that I've ordered. I think maybe 3 times in my life that I've ever sent a beer back. And one of the times was, I'm not going to say their name, but it's a Minnesota company that used to make wings before it got bought by a venture capitalist company. Buffalo Wild Wings. And
not naming names.
yeah, they're now closed at like the Snelling location. But I don't even remember what the beer was, but it tasted like soap.
Oh no.
And it's like, so they either just clean their tap lines, which yikes, because that need to be rinsed out, or somehow their beer tastes like soap, which is a bigger yikes, I guess. It was so bad. And then I remember sending it back and getting a different beer, and it still tasted like soap. And like, so we just I think we sent back 4 beers total, and we like, I'll just have water.
Yeah.
Like
so,
it was like, it was.
Did the water taste like soap?
No.
James, what did you Yum, me a Coke.
No, like this is kind of like a mantra in like cleaning draft lines is like, like lines aren't clean until like there's beer back in them.
Mm-hmm.
So like when you clean draft lines, like we clean our draft lines every 2 weeks. When we re-hook up the kegs, we re-bleed the draft lines until we see beer come out and we taste that. We're like, hey, that's still beer on the other end of it. Because who knows if your opening staff are going to like, hey, you want this? Here's like a quart of your glass is gonna be what was in the line before we re-bled everything.
Nope.
And
yeah,
so like
that's bad news.
Like it has to be beer back in the draft line before a customer tastes it.
Now,
and as a brewer, the last time you touch a beer is when you put it into the package.
Yep.
It is everything that happens beyond that is out of your control. So your taproom staff, the packaging quality of your cans, the liquor store, everywhere else, how the customer handles it in their refrigerator, whatever, that is out of your control. So it has to be absolutely perfect before it reaches the customer. And so if your draft lines are dirty and it sucks, that's a problem. If you've just recently cleaned your draft lines and they're not fully purged, and that's what the customer experienced, that sucks even more. The point, I guess the point I'm trying to get to is you need to care about how the customer receives your beer.
Yeah.
For Rob and I, when we were at that Buffalo Wild Wings and we received this beer that tasted like soap.
A company that's not to be named.
No, name names.
Yeah, who doesn't love a good cilantro lager? Did you know like 13% of the population, when they eat cilantro, it tastes like soap?
I'm not one of them.
We have had recommendations to make a cilantro lager.
That sounds like a bad idea.
Because 13% of those profits down the toilet.
Yeah.
But think about the 87%.
Ooh.
Right?
Are they that jazzed about it that they're going to make up for
Okay,
the people who taste it?
Pythagoras,
and are
I see you.
Well, I don't know. Ask the Chipotle rice fans. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like Chipotle rice.
I mean,
I'm going to mention
Yeah.
my other idiot sister-in-law who's like, I don't like Chipotle.
what's her name?
I'm like,
Name
what?
names.
No,
Name
I'm not
names,
gonna
Dan.
name
Name
names.
names. Name
I'm just gonna,
names.
there's idiot sister-in-law 1 and idiot sister-in-law 2.
Wild
They're both ridiculous. She's like, I don't like Chipotle.
Is it
I'm
your
like,
brother or sister's spouse?
No.
Or your wife's? Okay.
bingo. It's fine. It's
more
fine.
important.
We don't talk
yo.
anymore, so it's fine. They're not not going to listen to this because they are not people of culture. But she's like,
okay.
I don't like Chipotle. Like, well, you can't judge it because you're one of those people who, when you eat cilantro, it tastes like soap. They're like, no, that's not it. I'm like, pretty sure it is.
That would have a pretty big impact on it.
It would have a very big impact on it.
How many people do you think exist in this world that just the hop flavor also tastes like something?
Oh.
That's a,
I mean,
We don't know.
probably quite a few. I mean, if you wanted to, I don't know what the genome of cilantro is, but there could be
There's a hoppy
some
But
sort.
it's
I mean,
probably the entirety of
maybe
people that drink
the,
Jaeger. So
person.
I mean, my mother, after 15 years of making beer, still will not taste my own beer.
What?
Interesting.
she tried one.
Yeah, if someone else other than me will ask her to try it, she'll try it.
Your mom brewed beer.
No.
No, his beer.
My beer. She won't try it. 15 years of making beer, my mother will not try
Why?
mine. She's like, I hate beer.
She likes whiskey.
Oh.
Don't
She-
ask her to try other things. She likes her whiskey.
Hey.
My mom likes whiskey. She
So
likes
she's
wine.
a classy lady.
Yep.
If you brought home like really weird looking art projects, would she tell you that they looked nice and yay, good job?
Yep.
But she won't drink the beer.
I call this excited Papa Smurf 2.0.
Wow, your mom was really supportive of your art, though. At least
Yeah.
one of our moms.
Man,
Teresa, you're a great
my
person at,
self-esteem is falling through the
I'm
toilet
really
right now.
sorry.
But she, like, for whatever reason, it doesn't matter the style of beer, whether it's a sour, like a Scottish, wee heavy, or a IPA, whatever the fuck it is. She will not like the beer because it tastes like beer to her.
Wasn't there
Okay,
a beer
but
that
if
she
you
did
the
like?
more beer you drink, the more you like it.
She went to college at Marquette University in Milwaukee.
Drink the beer.
Right
Yep.
down the street from Lakefront?
Yep, she drank.
Oh,
she
my
drank
God.
a lot of beer in college and hated it all the time, and she
Yikes.
just will not do it anymore. Can't tell you
I
why.
need that stubborn gene.
Yeah.
I have
I-
that stubborn gene, but not to that level.
I want to circle back to. We should probably wrap it
I mean,
up.
there's a
No,
lot we
no,
should circle
no.
back
We
to.
have a lot of questions we still got to
Getting
get
on
through.
the-
Let's
Yeah.
make this a 5-hour
haven't even-
episode.
Well,
We
we're
haven't
almost
even-
to 3
I
hours.
have
so
to edit it.
We haven't even finished the story of how we opened.
No, we're still on. You were making a business plan
Yeah,
that
I
you
know.
didn't want to happen.
Right.
And there was a bucket, and there were floor donuts.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
next thing you know, you got 4 years of the.
I'll do
thing.
a yada, yada, yada. We
Well-
did the business plan, yada, yada, yada. It worked out, yada, yada,
But
yada.
how do you determine this business plan that we wanted to fail was all of a sudden a good idea and we should do it?
That's the funniest part of this is
Yeah.
that Rob and I looked at each other early on and we're like, hey, if at any point we want out, let's have a check-in and just discuss this.
It wasn't just at any point. It was we have a firm date that the
Yeah.
4 of us are going to check in.
Yeah.
And the 4 of us checked in, sort of, and it was
Is this like you're holding a certain color marble in your hand
No.
and then you're all
it
going to
was
reveal it at the same
hey,
time?
on July, I don't know what the day was, but let's say July 1st.
Just show up to work with no pants
Let's
on.
all
That would be the
we'll
signal.
have a
That's the
dinner
signal.
together and we'll just decide. And then we never have the conversation. We all just kind of went forward and
yeah.
didn't talk about it.
Well-
the business started because of inertia.
Yeah.
Every step we did led to the next. At no point
Yeah.
they were like, hey, we're doing this, right? Of course we're doing this because I'm talking to banks now.
Yeah.
And I'm talking to equipment contractors.
On that
And-
note, I always want to make a couple call outs. Fuck Old National and fuck Wells Fargo.
There
Oh,
we go.
God.
I
Tell
don't have
me-
to bleep those.
I'm pro Gateway and I'm pro Sunrise, more or less. They're
Yeah.
our bank.
Yeah.
Well, the conversation we had with the Old National guy, I will leave Wells Fargo of it. They're just dickheads, and they're like, you are a restaurant, and we're gonna ask for 60% interest or whatever, or equity. I'm like, okay, well, all right. But the Old National.
Here's a really good back scratch. I can give
Yeah.
you that. But
the Old National guy was like, "Are you sure you want to open a brewery?" And we're like, "Yes." And he's like, "Are you sure for sure?" And we're like,
Oh my God.
"Yes." And he's like, "Well, I don't believe you guys, and fuck you. We're gonna do 17% interest." And we're like, "Okay, no."
Yeah,
he was.
I don't believe you.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was such a dickhead.
I submitted.
He was
over,
such a
Yeah.
and I mean this in the most offensive way. The most boomeriest boomer banker that exists in this world.
I submitted.
I don't remember his name. I wish I did, because I would call it out now.
Yeah, I submitted over 30 loan applications
Yeah.
to different banks.
Oh.
You did 27 of them, but I did at least 3.
Yeah, so
Teamwork makes the dream work.
So different proposals, different revenue projections, like all the things, submitting to banks, like, hey, look, this is our business model. This is what we believe is going to happen. It was over 30 complete applications, and it was a tremendous amount of work to do that. 2 banks eventually landed on hey, let's look at this. And one was Sunrise Bank, and the other one was Gateway Bank. Both were local. On one hand, I'm thankful for the national banks, who basically just slammed the door in our face and we're not even considering this, because it forced me to reevaluate how I was proposing our loan to other banks.
Assume somebody has had their brain removed.
Correct.
And that's who you're dealing with at Old National.
But now, nearly 4 years in, looking at the state of the industry, I'm like, well, maybe the bankers had some foresight of what was going to happen, because they had brewery clients who were failing. They were looking at us, who were going to open up a taproom model brewery, and going well, you're going to follow the same way as these bigger brands who are more regional. Well, we're not the same style of business.
Yeah.
We're not I don't even know a good comparison of opening multiple McDonald's instead of a single location in a underserved neighborhood.
Well, yeah, you're not seeking to be Summit. You're seeking to be Wandering Leaf. I think that's the problem. Is there's so many different ways to approach it, and when you were applying for loans, the industry and what might be deemed quote unquote the path to success has changed.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I don't mean to be morbid, but we knew when we were starting the brewery that COVID was going to kill off a lot of breweries. We knew that that is a given, and it hasn't happened fully yet, but it is happening. There has been some stays of execution, and I don't mean this in in a morbid way, but it is happening. There's been the business side of breweries just is not great. When you started in 2014, it was build it and they will come, and you don't even have to have good beer. That's how it was.
Yeah.
By the time we started, it was having good beer is the minimum. That's what it was. But that's how beer is nowadays, right? You can't exist as a business and making shit beer.
Right.
No offense to people that make shit beer, I guess.
But some offense.
Some offense, but
No offense to and and that place over and then don't forget about the and then but those are the only 5.
I had to bleep him in the last episode. I've actually bleeped him a couple times, but I think the last episode is when he finally caught on that I bleeped something out.
Oh.
So now I think he's just
This is not the first time I've been censored by a white lady.
Wait, mark the time.
2:46:39.
What was the beer? What was the brewery?
I have bleeped out. I have bleeped out. I have bleeped out.
Oof. Yeah.
No,
I mean, those aren't surprises.
Yeah.
Name names.
Yeah.
To bring it all home, we record the Brewery Adventure here almost exclusively
Yeah.
in the last several months.
I'm just the prettiest girl at the ball. I'm just swinging my feet at the table right now.
I kind of enjoy being a part of it. So if you ever needed just a 30-minute edition, I just like talking.
Yeah.
I feel we didn't get the full story from you guys. We have so many more things to discuss, so you're going to have to come back.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, we're going to be
So
here
long
anyway, so
story
you're going to have to
short,
grab
we
a
started the
microphone.
brewery. James Lee built it. Aaron Windcamper designed it. And Matt's really good at making beer. I'm an okay, I guess, owner.
We try to make a earthy, hazy IPA.
Oh my God, that was a big mistake as a
earthy
home brewer.
IPA?
I was like, well, hazy IPAs are super popular, and I really enjoy West Coast IPAs. What if I combine the two?
It's called Midwest IPA and it doesn't work.
No, I did worse. I was like, I'm gonna take the hops from the West Coast and I'm gonna just shove it into the body of a hazy IPA, and it tasted like.
Yeah,
it was so
Mount
bad.
Hood as a dry hop.
It was
Jesus Christ, why would you do that?
I was like, this is gonna be the next big thing, and it wasn't it.
Hey, sometimes you gotta shoot for the stars, because even if you miss, you land on a cloud. But we love coming here. We
love coming here, and I do want to say the first time I ever came here, it was with a group. I was really super early. We've talked about this before on the podcast. You guys were up at the bar and just like had this very normal, organic conversation with me that wasn't weird. It wasn't off-putting. It wasn't uncomfortable.
We talked
about video games.
Sure,
I had
Matt
no
and
idea that you
Robby.
guys were the co-owners of this place until like very late in the conversation.
Yeah.
And it like I think about that every time I come in here, because that's part of the charm of this place is you guys and talking to the people who come in and treating everybody who walks in the door like they're part of your community already, even if it's the first time they've been here.
I guess unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, we are here all the time. Matt is here.
I live
like
here.
24/7.
Yes.
I'm here like 18/6.
I believe, Courtney, we have some audio of that, just some banter that Robby and Matt were having behind the bar.
How would it be if we put Mount Hood in the body of a hazy IPA?
So that's interesting. We could do.
I will stand behind the idea of a bitter hazy IPA. I will stand behind it. I think that it could work.
That's just a Vermont hazy.
I'm just
You
not
know, like
I'm
a
just
Vermont
not,
IPA.
I'm just
You know,
not
that's-
smart enough to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm not willing to
Keep
spend
trying.
thousands of dollars to do it.
No, but to your point, breweries that put on their platitudes of like, oh, we're community driven, they have to be part of their community. One of the big things that I've taken a lot of pride in is that like the Ethiopian community in our neighborhood has been huge supporters of us. And it's partly because like when they first started showing up, we're like, hey, what the fuck are you doing here? It's more like, what beer do you want? Because like you're not part of a craft beer demographic at all. And like, well, we want this, this Pilsner or whatever. Since we've opened up, we've gotten to know that there's like a whole ton of geopolitical issues that are within this, small community here in South Highland Park. And we're kind of treated as a kind of like almost a Switzerland of sorts.
Yeah.
Like one of our
That would explain all the yodeling.
yeah. We have one customer who is like the brother of the pastor at the local Ethiopian church. He keeps calling us second church. Like we've learned through him that all these factions in the Ethiopian community are just kind of civil here, and they go to their own spots after we close. I would have never imagined that we'd be at the center of like things on the other side of the planet are present here. They're all civil because they're all here in America. They're all dealing with the same problems here in America, but they also have all these other problems that they're trying to deal with. But they can be civil here.
You get to be the safe haven,
Yeah.
the neutral zone.
Yeah.
Well, and
And-
you fostered the, to use a horticultural, the
Oh.
soil
Oh, my
was
God.
prepped and
Yeah.
ready for that
Yeah.
to grow and cultivate. You've cultivated that.
Yeah, but
that
like-
ability for
but
them
like-
to feel like this
yeah.
is a place to come and be
Yeah.
together.
I think on that note, though, they have their church that they all go to together. Like it is their specific space that they go to. They all have their own different restaurants and bars that they go to separately from that church. Because we had no idea that these geopolitical things happened. They walked in and we were nice to them. We had no reason to be mean to them because they're just people coming in. They want to have a beer.
Yeah.
And they're nice. And it just became second church for them.
Yeah.
And honestly, even to this day, 3.5 years later, I don't know which faction they belong to. I just know that they don't like each other. And I know that's really bad. It's just what it is. It's like I know which groups don't like each other, but I don't know which. I know like a couple of them.
Yeah,
but
I don't know which group
Yeah.
is North Ethiopia's or Central or
Eritrea or like
yeah.
I know that they don't like each other in the grand scheme of things, but they are friendly. They'll nod their heads at each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they will not sit next to each other. Like that's
That's
what
okay.
I know.
I wish I could say the same for my idiot sisters-in-law. I won't even nod my head at them.
That's
They're,
okay.
they're garbage.
It's very similar to my house, like my parents' house when I go for Christmas. It's like, don't sit the cousins next to each other. It's fine.
But to put a final bow on all of this is that like breweries that are like, hey, we're a community space. Are you a present member of your community?
yeah.
Yeah.
Because
There's a lot of talking the talk, but very few are
Yeah.
walking the walk. I'll say
so
that.
if you're in an Ethiopian neighborhood, are you welcoming to the Ethiopians who are like, hey, we like beer. We're not a part of a craft beer demographic.
Yeah.
If you're welcoming to them, they're here. And it's the same thing to like a Latino community that's like, hey, we like beer. Are we in a neighborhood that welcomes us to a craft brewery that's in our neighborhood?
Yeah.
If you're going to say like, hey, we're community focused, but you're exclusionary to certain groups of people, are you actually a community? Because those people are part of your community. And like, that's not to say like you need to welcome people who are actively hostile. You also need to like understand like people are different, and you need to find that balance.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of breweries out there that are quite performative when it comes to that, and I think it is really refreshing. And I'm thankful that Wandering Leaf does not fall into that category, and you are doing the right thing.
I really appreciate that.
But it does make a difference that you guys are here, like for good or for worse. You guys are here all the time, and you interact with everybody who comes in.
Yeah.
That sets a tone for your staff. That sets a tone for everybody who walks in the door.
Yeah. All of our regulars see my good days, but they see my bad days.
Yeah. Especially his bad
His
days.
bad days?
Jeez.
Yeah. I wear my stress on my face. I can't help it anymore.
He's only 26.
It's only gonna get worse, Matt. It's only gonna get worse.
Oh, dog. I'm only 26. I look like a bulldog.
Yeah.
But
But it is like we truly are here a lot, and so we've got to know our regulars. They see us when we're happy. They see us when we're stressed. They see us when we're sad. They know us really well, and there are times where we're super chatty. We want to talk to them, and we're super engaged. They want to ask about the beers, and we tell them all about them. And then there's times where we're like, just please leave me alone. I do not want to talk to you. Unfortunately, my desk is right there next to the to-go beer. So I don't get to hide my face very often. I'm just like right there all the time until I go home. So
yeah, but again, that's kind of part of it. Like the breweries have always been like that quote unquote third space.
Yeah.
And if you want to call yourself a third space, you have to be part of your community. And if you're not, then what are you doing? You're just trying to sell beer, and might as well be making Coors.
yeah, I do think the third space, but also like beer has always been a unifier of populations. I think that throughout history of like truly beer, like hence definer is gonna be 1,000 years old. It is a unifier of space.
I'm going to tell my wife that's what we're doing for my 61st birthday.
Dude,
Your 79th
to
birthday.
Germany. 79th, 89th, whatever.
Yeah.
Bring
but
my
like-
ashes, Matt, will you?
And like
Sprinkle them on in the parking lot.
But like Germany does it right. Like they have
won't be alone.
beer halls.
Yeah.
It's the beer hall mentality where it's like
Oh.
you don't have to know the person next to you. I think that's why we have such a big bar. It's like I can't tell you the number of times I've had a random one person sit down, and they sit down next to a regular, and they have a conversation, and they just like have a conversation for like 2 hours, and like someone's like, "Oh, I'm just having the one beer," and they're having like 3 beers because they're talking to somebody that they wanted to have.
Yeah.
Like it's great. Like it is something like it gives me a little bit of a joy that I didn't think I had left in me. I am a very pessimistic person in general, unfortunately. Having somebody that normally
You're not wrong. The first time I met you, I'm like, is this man dead inside? No, just kidding.
The
Just
answer
kidding.
is-
That's not-
No, you're right.
the answer is yes. I hide it sometimes.
Where do you find joy? What gives you joy?
Her name is Joy.
Oh, joy. The lady hiding behind the ficus over there. Come on over. Don't be a stranger.
It's the Vietnamese restaurant that.
That's right.
Oh.
Joy's Potato Thai. Shotgun? Or not shotgun. Jesus Christ.
I mean, I'll do it. I'm in if you're in.
Shout out Joy's, Richfield. Go there. It's delicious.
Yeah.
Highly recommend. Thai restaurant. It's fantastic. Go. Right off 494 in Lindale.
I was gonna ask if it was that one.
Yes, it's delicious. Go.
Well, I can't think of a better way to start off season 2 of the brewery adventure than a nice, really robust beer conversation with Matt and Robby, half of the
through
onnnership
one
crew
We
here
did,
at the
got through one
Wandering Leaf.
I feel a lot less bad about not having an actual
Yeah,
plan
yeah.
for this. It's fine.
You're dealing with 2 people who have raging ADHD. There's no way that this is going to go the way you planned it.
Yeah.
No, this was perfect. This was everything I wanted. I'm so happy that you guys joined us. I hope that you come back and do it again because I feel like there's more stories.
I mean,
to
you guys
tell.
are here all the time. There's no way we can.
It's
Yes,
true.
stay tuned
We're just
for
always
part
gonna plug
2,
in
November
2 extra
13th,
microphones.
2026.
That's right. We'll be there.
I'm just putting it in there right now.
All right.
Where can people find Wandering Leaf online if they want to connect with you guys?
WanderingLeafBrewing.com or at Wandering Leaf Brewing on Instagram. Don't remember our Facebook handle, but I assume it's the same.
Dan, where can people find you since you're mid-yawn?
Besides, past my bedtime. I was up late playing Civilization 5 last night.
Whoops.
Oh, yeah.
If you go to, you want to hear a One Pint Stand, my other podcast, you can just search that up on any podcast format. And if you want to read,
Napster?
get on. Yeah, let's bring that back. I mean, I'm trying to bring back Capri Pants, so why not Napster too?
How about LimeWire?
Even that one. If you go to aonepintstand.com or just search up A One Pint Stand on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Mastodon, and Blue Sky.
They gave you the appropriate look for Mastodon.
Yeah, what's
it's
Mastodon?
It's the same look I give you every
Exactly.
time.
It's an up-and-coming thing.
He joined it because of one person.
What?
That one person is
an
a
old
good
elephant?
person.
I'm sure they're a good person, but it's still like...
You met him at the Rathskeller. He was with Mitch, Dan.
Dan's great.
Yeah.
But you joined a whole social
Because
platform
I am
because
a
of
man
one
of
person.
the people. If somebody tells me that's where they get their information, I'll be on there.
But what about
Hey.
Reddit?
Oh, I get a lot of clicks from Reddit and a lot of hate from Reddit.
Oh my God, I love
IAMTEHRYAN. That person? I think they either need to get a more comfortable couch or eat less bran. Because my God, what a cranky son of a bitch that person is. I hope they. I hope they find joy. Is that you?
Oh my
Is
God,
that
he's
you?
been
It's
trolling
me.
you this whole time.
No, I do browse the Minnesota Beer subreddit, and I
Yeah.
see your posts every now and then, and it gives me a little bit of joy to see dum-dums commenting in
That
like, the
person's
most
just a
shitty
colossal
way.
prick.
And how often people are like, well, fuck you. Not to you, but to like the guy that's commenting on your post.
Yeah.
It's so great.
Yeah.
I love the like social intricacies of the internet.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Yeah.
wacky stuff out there.
I'm sure people can guess my handle if they browse the Brewery subreddit.
Yeah.
Because I post there quite a lot and like asking questions or just commenting and going like, hey, does anybody else have an Alpha Compass 25 canning line? Because what the fuck am I dealing with?
Again, harkening back to the brewery like community is very community focused. Like they will tell you exactly what you're doing wrong, so long as you pose it in a way of what am I doing wrong? Because they want to tell you.
Yeah.
They're just not sure they can.
No.
No, they want to tell you. But
They wanna
if you
tell you.
say you, as an expert that you're the expert, they want to tell you they're wrong.
If you just pose yourself as an idiot, you're like, hey, I will accept your advice, good, bad, or ugly. Just tell me what's going on. You'll get a deluge of information. We're like, I know better than everybody else. It's crickets.
Oh yeah.
Well, outside of
This
hate
is-
comments.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Courtney, where can people find the Brewery Adventure?
TheBreweryAdventure.com with THE at the front, The Brewery Adventure, or on Instagram, The Brewery Adventure. And it should be where they can find us, Dan, because
Yes,
you are
yes.
the co-host
Yes.
of this
For
podcast.
a year. I've made it a
You've
year.
been the co-host for a whole year. I don't know at what point you realized you were the
Yeah.
co-host.
No.
Don't forget about onlyfans.com/Robby Reisdorf. Put all your money in there. It's very important.
it's all feet pics.
It's
Wait, who's
just
feet?
the gnarliest feet you've ever seen.
It's Matt
God.
Holton's feet post boot.
Why do you wear a size 5 women's tap shoe all the time? Yay, caramba.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
onlyferns.com. I
Only
forgot.
ferns.
Yeah.
Matt
That's a
Holton
different
as he
site.
pulls his feet out of his boots. like
Just very
swampy grossness.
All right, this is where we'd normally do a cheers. I think you need a beer. We're gonna do a cheers. Thank you guys again so
pour
much
me a
for
little.
being here.
Hey.
Cheers! Yay!
Gross,
We got it. All right.
Kaboom.
warm.
my favorite.
Did you actually drink that?
Hell yeah.
Oh my God, that's been sitting here forever. I'm so sorry.
That's the one I peed in. Hey, caramba.
Hey, yo.